I do have to say, oh, it's funny to me how you're like giddy like a schoolgirl every time we hit that the transition goes.
I love this.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this episode, the next episode of Between Two Streamers. We are your hosts, Mike and Huey, and we appreciate everybody showing up for the show. This edition of the show is we are covering some '90s nostalgia. We're going over. We're both. I mean, technically, I guess we're not '90s kids. We're born in the '80s. Therefore, like whenever our little primitive brains at around 5 years old like gained like consciousness and we lived through the '90s,
Yeah. Growing up
growing
through the
up
night.
through the '90s as mid '80s kids. So,
Yeah.
yes, and JC Jean's here to give us the perspective of somebody that was in their 30s during the '90s. I mean,
Exactly.
no. Oh, did you say exactly? Oh,
That was in exactly the wrong time.
yes. Welcome, JC Jean. Thank you. So yeah. Anyways, let's get right into it. The '90s episode here.
I
What's
gotta say,
yeah.
I feel really weird wearing my hat this way and then having the gray hair.
You
Feels a little weird.
you
Doesn't
you
feel
look like you should
like
be
it.
like a backup singer in the Beastie Boys,
Yes.
which would be very fitting.
Right.
And, you know, this is kind of fits our time range here. So, Toro says you look fly, by the way, which I appreciate you using. I appreciate y'all coming in and using the '90s lingo.
Looking fly.
Looking fly.
Word.
So okay, so we kind of touched on it a little bit. I'll let you kind of start here, but like, give me your age bracket in the '90s. What was your age bracket?
So I was born in '86, so that puts me at 4 to 14. The years of my
Okay.
experience in the '90s.
Okay.
4 to 14.
Well,
So,
I'm right behind,
so
or I'm right in front of you. 85. So 85. So I mean, I was like 5 to 10, or no, 5 to 15. Fred Durstlight. I'm sorry, I didn't give you a chance to show off your light. Let's show off your background stuff. Show it off.
look at that. I just found it was in the attic. I just thought of it like a half hour before the show started. I'm like, oh my god, I think I still have that thing. And
So-
I did, it worked and everything.
Did you go purposely to the attic to look for that, or was it just like a meant to be? Okay. I didn't know if that was like one of those moments where you were digging through boxes and like the fucking bright light shines like the Ark of the Covenant and Indiana Jones. You're like,
No, I
this
was
is
like,
meant to
I've
be.
seen that thing. I wonder if it's still up there. And I just
Nice.
did half an hour before we got live, and I'm like, I gotta go see if I can find it.
Hell yeah.
And I found another little treasure I'll bring up later when we get to that part.
Nice. So anybody in chat wants to chime in. So Toro already chimed in. So Toro is already on script for us without even being prompted. I gotta love it because he said he was born in '82. So
I love Wicked. Wickeds was one of my favorites on Twitter. Wicked, you got to drop when your age bracket of the '90s.
born in
Born in
'96.
'96. So I was like, let's get the lay of the land, and Wicked was like 0 to 4.
0 to 4. So for Wicked, you're here. So I get to pick on you a little bit. Like, you remember the scene in I think it was like either the second or third in the episode 2 or 3 of Star Wars, where, you know, Anakin's standing there like, we recognize you, but we don't, like, they don't ought to give him the position of master, you know? It's like, okay, you were there, but nah, like, you aren't a '90s. I'm sorry, like, you can't remember shit from there.
I told Wicked he's got to come and just laugh at us old folks.
That's what he's already here doing it. He's already here doing it. He's a '90s Padawan. Yes, Toro. Oh God.
You're not a member.
So JC was 17 to 27. You're on the council, but you aren't a member. That's the quote. Thank you, Wicked.
Yeah.
You're not. No, you're not a master. You're on the council, but you're not a master. That's what it is.
Right.
We're the masters. All right.
JC's Yoda.
Goddamn Toro. Toro's fucking digging that hole right now. So, all
Throwing
right.
daggers.
Yes. So this is how we kick off the show: as we insult our chat. That's good.
Yeah.
Uh,
I did. Hey, chat's installing chat. We didn't insult chat.
I made you unintentionally insult chat by insulting JC, and then you're like, "Yep."
That was a yep on a different thing. I don't remember what I was yepping about.
But I'm just I'm just saying it fit. All right. Editing. Okay. Editing it might not be your friend on this episode. I just want to fit in. Blame Mike, JC. I know, right? Okay. So I think we're all kind of around the same range, except for Wicked right now, as to where we were in the '90s.
The young buck.
Like
the baby.
For the most part, those of us here right now can recognize and remember the '90s, growing up through the '90s. Wicked. This is like an educational stream for him. No, Miss Dirty was at '92, baby. So Miss Dirty was a 0 through like 7.5 to 8.
Yeah.
Which means you might have some memories from then, but again, you're just
0 to 8.
like 8 years old. You're pretty good. You have some memories. All right.
Yeah.
All right. She remembers doing it all for the nookie. All right. So okay.
Mrs. Huey should be a year behind me, so she would be 3 to 13.
Okay. So she's an 87 baby then.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, well, we're all kind of in the same ballpark. A lot of things we talk about today, I feel like, are going to be pretty relevant to our demographic here tonight. Then, so graduated when you were born, Mister JC Jeans. Graduated in high school the year that Miss Dirty was born. It's okay.
Nice.
So let's get right into it then. Let's talk about some things we missed from the '90s. I think we're gonna have to start getting into some reminiscing at this point. Talk about things we remember, things we miss. Maybe some things that, looking back, that we don't miss, like my baggy goth pants.
We'll get to that.
We'll get there. Okay, we'll talk about that later. Okay,
we'll talk about the pants. I had some crazy pants too.
Wicked said, I miss being able to shit anywhere. Okay, fair enough. You were in a diaper. Okay, got you.
True.
The
only experience.
Whoa, hold on.
Whoa.
Something
What happened there?
I have no idea.
Look at that.
Okay, what even happened right there?
Now we're back.
I hid. Hold on. No, I don't
back
even.
Now on the thing.
No, I know, but I don't know why it did that. I can do it again. All of a sudden, chat in the window that I'm grabbing just grew and pushed your video over. Whatever. I'm looking at chat on OBS now. So, are you able to see chat still?
Yeah.
Or are you
see chat and both of us? We're just we're on top of each other. That doesn't matter. As long as the stream's good.
You can see chat though. You're good. Okay. I just want to make sure that chat didn't just disappear for you, because I had to hide it on my end to make the video correct. Anyways, God,
what the hell was that?
we're just sitting here talking, and all of a sudden it's just like, you know what? Chat needs to be like twice as wide. All right, here you go, old man.
Right now we're on top of each other on my screen.
Well, that's because, and you have chat on the side.
Yeah.
So I had to hide chat. So I have like a little bar on the side, but like I see a side by side. The only way that it's going to go through correctly on the stream is if we're side by side on my monitor. So that I kind of panicked there for a minute. Okay, like, well, here we go.
Crazy.
So things we miss about the '90s. JC says she misses drinking into submission.
Yeah, you were about that age.
Yeah.
You were not.
Flintstones Frozen Push Pops. Okay, yeah. So I have to, and this is something I know that you and I, like, we have a habit of starting to talk about the show when we're planning the show, and I like avoided this topic. I started to get into this topic, but then I stopped because, like, whenever I was picking the picture, I was like, do they need to be specifically Flintstones ones? Because I had a different one, and you're like, yeah. Like it's got to be the Flintstones. So I didn't, and so again, I stopped right there asking questions because I was going to bring up here. I wasn't a push pop kid. I didn't eat a lot of push pops. So why push pop? Like, what is so special about Flintstones push pops? Gamer
Like
says
the
they're
first
pure
kind of thing, they
cocaine.
were so cool, right? You just had the whatever, and you like push it. There was no other like kind
Okay.
of treat like that for a while. It was just like one of the cool things. And it was just,
Everybody in
sherbet.
chat
It
is
was
like, God,
orange
these.
sherbet that you just push the thing up, and right, like they were so good. It was just sherbet on a fucking. I don't know. They
Sherbet,
made it
okay.
interactive, man. It was just cool.
I feel like I'm missing out. Like I almost needed to go get like fucking push pops before we did the show. I should have done it because like I didn't have them enough. If I had them at all to have that nostalgia factor for me, so I'm like, wait a minute, like what is the big deal about? Even Wicked remembers those. Maybe I'm not the master here. But okay,
remembers them.
but okay, so everybody misses the Flintstone push pops. Do Flintstone push pops still exist today? I don't even know. Okay.
I don't think so. Flintstone vitamins. There you go.
Hold on, and Miss Hugh
Garfield
go
tortillas.
Garfield
Yes, I do.
tortillas.
We're not into food. We're not
I mean, we are talking about things we
I'm into
miss.
food.
All right, we're going to food. We're doing this.
This is gonna be this whole episode.
That'll be. It's gonna be so fucking random this whole time.
Oh, it's gonna be so good. I love it.
Once again, I appreciate how we have this elaborate plan of like this is exactly how it's all gonna go, and then we're like 2 minutes in, and like just talking about the most random shit in the world. It's perfect.
Yeah, no, that's the point. What does everybody miss about the 90s? Love
What
it.
does what does everybody? Yeah, this
That
is
was
this.
the question.
Yeah, we and
What did you miss?
this is like just so everybody knows, like this is a high. This should be a high volume chat version of the show. I know usually we have like some movies and some bands and stuff that we're talking about specifically, but like we're all here to reminisce this time. This is the interactive between two streamers, if there ever was one.
We have a very loose topic to bring up thing, but this is all reminiscing with Chad. This is not a
wax lips. I see wax lips. Garfield. Oh, hold on. I want to get back to Miss Huey, okay? Because I don't know what the hell Garfield tortillas are. I have no clue.
Oh no.
What are Garfield tortillas?
It's not as crazy as you think. Literally, it was just a bag of tortilla chips with Garfield on the fucking bag.
Okay. Okay.
It's not like they were special and tasted like lasagna or anything.
All right. Toro's never heard of them either.
Google it.
Google it. Should we do our first Google? Okay, first Google window. Here we go. Our first Google of the night. Use the Google.
It might be. Maybe it is a Canadian thing. Maybe it is.
Oh shit! Don't hit that button. The Google for the evening is going to be really embarrassing because y'all get to see how bad I am at spelling. I just like get it close and I'm like, please autocorrect, pull something up for me. Okay. Okay, here we go.
There you go.
Garfield tortillas. Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay.
Nice.
Huh. So that's Garfield tortilla chips. Okay.
There you go.
All right. No clue. No clue. Never heard of them. Never remember. It was a Canada thing. Toro says it was a Canadian thing.
There you go.
So you guys skipped the United States altogether and took the Mexican tortilla chip and added Garfield and was like, "Screw you, U.S. This is our thing." Oh
Better
man.
than Doritos.
Okay. So let me hide this again. Okay. So I'm trying to stay caught up with chat right now.
Cigarettes.
The Flintstone vitamins are in there. Garfield tortillas, pack of cigarette candy. I remember cigarette candy quite fondly. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. Walking around with my candies. Yeah.
Little chocolate log thing. Yeah.
Oh, wait. Yeah. You could carry it around like a little cigarette, because that's what we want to advertise. And so
Popeyes, right?
and on the topic of candy cigarettes and like cigarettes being a popular thing, like nowadays, like cigarettes are like people practically like hide in bushes outside smoking. Dude, like back growing up, like we were like sitting next to people in the fucking restaurants, like smoking cigarettes and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember like the what was the Camel Joe back in the 90s, like
Yeah.
the commercials, like like cigarettes were like the cool thing, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
you watch TV, you watch commercials, and you're like, damn, I can't wait to smoke one day. This is gonna be amazing. Like that fucking
It ain't
Camel,
so
I
cool.
love that fucking Camel. I'm gonna smoke
Yeah.
all that Camel cigarettes. All right, so cigarette can Jersey Shore, you can still win the candy cigarettes, gamer says. Popeye cigarettes or chocolate ones. Yep.
Yep. Gak. Was Gak the silly
Oh,
putty stuff?
yeah. Wasn't Gak like the slime?
Yeah.
Not silly putty. It was like a slime. Was Gak
Right,
slime?
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
I fucking hate slime, dude. The kids bring that shit home all the time.
Nickelodeon Gak. Yeah.
Terrible. Worst child's toy fucking ever is slime. All right. Oh, Miss
Yeah,
Dirty
fair
would
enough.
gladly chime in on that. I guarantee. Like every time, like if they go to they know that we don't like it. You know what I mean? So like we get them other toys, they buy other shit, and like they'll go to like a restaurant or go out to dinner or something with a relative and come back and be like, we got slime. It's like, God damn it. Green ketchup,
Yeah.
purple ketchup. Oh
JC
man.
got married in '98 and had her kid by '99. There you go.
Okay. All right. So JC had her first baby by 99. By the time I was 15, JC was having her first. So there's GAC. Okay, hip clips. Miss Dirty, what is a hip clip? I don't know.
Hip clips were the shit.
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I don't either.
She's busy. Gamer hit it. Look what Gamer said. Clear Pepsi. Remember?
There you go,
But
yeah.
Gamer, when we were talking about it, I hated clear Pepsi. I hated it with a passion. I thought it tasted different. I was like, no, this is not Pepsi. I do not want this crap. Oh my God. Okay, so hey, where are we?
We jumped into food. We're already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Oh.
7 topics down already. We
Okay.
jumped.
All right. Let's go back to square one.
Okay. Are we going back to square one, or you just want to stay on food?
I mean, when food is going right now. We can keep going on food. Okay,
I don't.
let's just go with
We
food.
had a food video ready.
We do. Should we do? Should we go ahead and do? Should we go ahead and do the commercial for food? Should we do it? Should we run it?
Waters.
What's up,
going
Waters?
on? I'm assuming that's my buddy from back home.
I would not eat green ketchup. Okay, but why would you not eat green ketchup? Because I wonder if it's the same reason that I hated clear Pepsi. Because it's just not right. It's not right. It probably tastes the same. Grosses me. But see, everybody's like it grosses you out. But why? Like, did you taste it and it had a flavor? It's unnatural, Toro said. Yeah, because it's against the natural order of things. Your ketchup is red. Your Pepsi is brown, I guess. Like that doesn't make it sound any better. I want my Pepsi to look like mud water, not that clear water shit.
Yeah. Not this clear. Not make it look all.
Yeah. How dare you make this look clean? Give me my dirty Pepsi.
So Waters, jumping back, Waters is the guy that I've went to most of the Slipknot shows with.
Oh, nice.
And I sent him episode 3 once it got on YouTube. And
nice.
Yeah. Waters is who I went to most of the Slipknot shows with.
Well, welcome, Waters. It's a pleasure to meet you. Psychological thing. Okay, everybody agrees. Okay, Miss Dirty has hit on another one that's a pet peeve of mine. Peanut butter and jelly that are together in a container is terrible. Absolutely terrible. We don't do that around here. The kids have seen it and they're like, oh, cool. And I'm like, don't you even look at it. Like, spread your stuff like a normal child.
No, yeah, that's not right.
It's not. Oh, yep, Crystal Pepsi, it tastes weird. Spider-Verse burger. Spider, I don't even know what that is. If they didn't discontinue Ecto Cooler, I would have Diet B. What is Ecto Cooler? Do you know what Ecto Cooler is?
I don't know Ecto Cooler. Discontinued.
Google. Google's getting used tonight. All right. Ecto Cooler. Oh, high
Ghostbusters
seas,
Kool-Aid.
high seas, ecto coolers. I remember those now. Okay.
Why is it ecto cooler?
Because it was Slimer from Ghostbusters. So ectoplasm.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yep.
I did not. I did not. I do
I
not remember
I
that.
I didn't it didn't ring a bell, but then once I realized it was the Ghostbusters thing, I was like, okay, yeah, I do remember those. I do remember
Ah,
those. Those were fun. I liked those. I was a juice box kid in general, so from the real Ghostbusters TV show, exactly. Back when things were real.
when things were real.
Okay, so Huey, do you have a favorite food from the '90s though? Like, is there something that you think of and like? And whatever I think of it, like I don't think it has to be a food from the '90s, but just something that like maybe like clicks in your head is like this is what I really enjoyed back then. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It could be something that came
First thing
from the
that comes to
'90s.
mind, and I've brought this up before, I remember when McDonald's had pizza.
Oh,
I want that back. I want McDonald's pizza back.
hold on, I gotta look
And
this up because I don't remember this either.
McDonald's had pizza. And also, another Canadian thing, yeah.
Oh,
And
was
another
it?
thing that came up in one of the videos was the McDonald's cookies. And I totally forgot about that until I saw the box again.
Look
I
at
don't know if
that.
McDonald's. I don't know if
McDonald's
McDonald's.
pizzas.
There you go.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. McDonald's had pizza.
Wicked, we still get barrel-shaped juice drinks around here every once in a while. If I would have known, I would have had them here for you. It sounds like a Canadian thing. Yeah.
When I think of when I think of stuff that's been discontinued that
Okay.
you can't get that stuff anymore, I remember that,
Huh.
and I guess it'd be food and drink would be like the Squeeze-Its. I know that's
Oh,
in one
okay.
of the videos or something like that too. A little thing you twist it
Yep.
off and
Yep.
like a whatever.
Yep.
Squeeze-Its. Those are really good.
All right.
Yeah.
If I had so Toro just kind of hit on it for me, and this is why I clarified that it didn't necessarily need to be a food that was like invented in the '90s,
Gotcha.
but like the Pizza Hut buffets after the book reading club pizza buffets, yes, like that was my '90s thing that I miss. Okay, you go and you have like your reading list and you're like, dude, I'm getting this amazing personal pan for free from Pizza Hut just for reading some stupid books, like that was my '90s thing I missed was the book reading.
I don't remember that.
So
I don't.
that could have been an American
I-
school systems thing. So like we had what did they call it? The book reading club. You had to mark down, your teachers essentially marked down the books that you read, and as long as you read those books, you could go and get free pizza at Pizza Hut. It was it was awesome.
Right on.
Mrs. Huey remembers the barrel juice. JC, I think that was a Canadian thing. I think we found out that was a Canadian thing. Big sticker machine on the way out of Pizza Hut. Yes, they still have them. They still have them.
And then you like push it, and then
Yeah.
that sleeve will come out.
Yep, and you get to like Brussels. You could get trading cards out of them. Oh,
Yeah.
stickers, trading cards, all kinds of good shit.
Good times. I think that was in one of the. That was in the.
Okay,
Now we gotta do the restaurant.
I
and the
feel
food
like
one. Did I send you the restaurant one?
yes. Okay, so
Yeah, we gotta do
chat.
both of those.
Give us a minute to bring this up. We are going to. What did I do? Nope, we're okay. Okay. Oh god. So I have the fast food in the '90s is the first one, and then there's a '90s collage, toys, and tech gadgets. Those are the four that I have. Was there another one? Am I missing one? Okay. Well, so food in the '90s. Here we go. This is an Instagram post by somebody that it doesn't want to
This is
load
you,
right
that was
now, but please load, please.
Please. Hold, please.
do 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 do. Okay. Yo, Waters, thank you for the follow. We appreciate it, buddy. We just gotta follow.
N64s in the playrooms. Yes, that'll be
Yes.
on this. I think when they had the video games in the McDonald's and stuff.
So
I do remember that.
All right, and the Instagram ones are
It's doing that for
not
me too.
loading.
Oh, there we go.
Is it going?
Oh,
No. That was I clicked over on a YouTube just to see if
oh,
YouTube was working, to see if it was a browser issue. This is not working.
oh, you friggin' Instagram, you.
Friggin' Instagram, stupid social medias. N64 was in the playroom. McDonald's had kiddie rides like a carousel. Our McDonald's, like, we always had the big playhouses, playpen things.
So we had all the tunnels and stuff like now, but like the OG McDonald's play places was a big ass yellow slide.
Okay.
There was a big hamburger that you climbed up the little thing, climbed up the little ladder, and then you can crawl around inside the hamburger. And
Oh,
then there was a little mini carousel that you'd hit the button on the wall, and the carousel would go around. That
really?
was the OG McDonald's play places, and then they
Jeez.
ripped them all apart, and they did.
I don't
crazy.
remember. I don't remember all of that. I remember like the slides and the ball pits and stuff, but I don't remember that elaborate of anything. Hey, I don't think we're gonna get the Instagrams up.
Damn.
I know. They worked perfectly fine. I look. I had them all lined up right here to click on them, and they're not working.
How do they send those to you?
Discord. I could see if I could grab them in the Discord real quick. You have to keep entertaining while I see if this works.
I don't see them in there. No, I might have sent them to you.
Oh, it was WhatsApp. It was WhatsApp,
Yeah.
which I do have on the PC. Yo, the Raj TTV.
Raj,
What's up,
what's up?
Raj? How's it going, dude?
We are both well. We're having technical difficulties, but we're pushing through.
All
We're
right.
figuring. Raj, we're talking favorite foods and reminiscing about the foods.
All right. I think we're gonna have to skip. I think we're gonna have to skip the Instagram ones.
Skip the Instagrams.
I apologize. Hold on. I'm gonna try something. One more time. Okay. You know what? Let me end it. Let me bring it. I'm gonna figure this out.
So what did you guys like? Anybody else like? What did you guys just went straight to the crazy tunnels and all that stuff in McDonald's play places? Is that what you guys had?
Yep.
AKA
Instagram's
Bro
out.
Montana, what's up?
Instagram's out. We're not able to do Instagrams.
Okay, skip it.
Sorry. All right, skipping the Insta. So, anyways, Huey and Mrs. Huey, I believe, had found some cool collages, reels, I guess, on Instagram that displayed like old school '90s, which I guess we could call retro now, which makes me feel
Yeah.
really old. But what fast food places looked like back in the day. And like how nice they were. They're not like the rundown shitty places that you're like, I'm not walking to that place. I'm just gonna go through the drive-through so I don't feel as dirty when I leave here, you know. But like
Right.
they were like legit places.
Exactly.
Oh, hold on.
So Bro Montana is actually Strudel, dude. Then that's who. That's
Hey,
who I was
all
talking
right.
about before, the guy that we've had our '90s moments with. Thank you so much for coming out. I appreciate
Yo,
it.
thank you very much. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Editing a video. Right on. Thank you so much for stopping by. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun here tonight.
Hold on.
It's
Waters
so
has
crazy
a story.
We've had our '90s things together. It's pretty funny.
Waters says in the 90s, I had my little brother convinced we found him in a ball pit in Burger King and brought him home as part of our family. Oh my God. Retro for me is the 80s. Love that decade. If you do the 80s, I'll be all over that. So we
See, I
did
don't
we
know
did the
any- I'm not gonna
90s.
remember that.
We were born mid 80s, which
Yeah.
is why we like, you know, like at a certain point when you're like 5 years old, I feel like your brain finally develops to the point that you can start like retaining memories. And so that's why the 90s was such a big show for us, is because that was like our cognitive
Yeah.
childhood pretty much.
I don't really remember anything from the '80s, right? 0 to 4.
Okay.
Like that would be like me and Wicked. That would be like me and Wicked's timeline.
So,
right
but okay, here's the thing: is I don't personally remember anything from the '80s at the time the '80s were happening. But now, like I listen to like the Misfits and shit. You know, like my musical taste. A lot of the movies and
Right.
that kind of stuff I watch are like older comedies, like the Blues Brothers, which may have been '70s, but like older comedies and stuff. So I enjoy a lot of stuff from the '80s, but I don't remember it when the '80s were occurring. So.
Right.
So yeah, anyways.
I have memories of when I was little, but I don't. Nothing crazy.
Yeah. Like I said, your brain is still like a mush at that point, so you don't actually like have the ability to remember anything. Kids are dumb. Okay, kids are dumb. When you're too small, you're
Do you
just
do
not
your
smart
favorite
enough.
food? Do you do your favorite food?
Yeah, it was the
tonight?
pizza buffet. The pizza
The
buffet.
pizza buffet.
That was like my
You just showed
thing.
up.
Yeah. You
You said you
yeah,
just showed up. There's
the
all kinds of pizzas.
the
You
the
just-
book reading club. She probably didn't read books. It was a joke. She just said I didn't read books. So, but pizza buffet, the pizza buffet specifically for me, the pizza buffet when you are not, because it wasn't really a buffet when you brought in your little book slip, you got your personal pans. So it was the personal pans that you got.
Okay. I remember Pizza Hut, and then they just made a bunch of pizzas, and they laid it all out.
Oh, yeah.
Like a buffet style.
Okay.
I remember getting really sick after doing that once, and I was then afraid of Pizza Hut. I think the cheese was old, and
okay.
I had a bathroom situation.
So I worked at Pizza Hut like fresh out of high school when I was going through like welding school. So like 2003, I worked at Pizza, and we still did buffets back then. Don't ever eat a Pizza Hut buffet. Let's just leave it at that, okay?
No,
Let's just.
I had a bad experience, and it took me
Yeah.
a long time. Mrs. Huey can attest. It was a long time before I tried Pizza Hut again.
Look, it's a miracle that there aren't more health issues with Pizza Hut buffets. Is all I'm gonna say. They're fucking disgusting. It makes me like I have.
Hey, don't wreck it fully.
I'm not. I'm no. I'm not. I'm just like specifically the buffet stuff. Like gross. Don't do it.
I'm getting a personal text from Mr. Waters saying my volume is still a little low.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see what we can fix.
You can write that right in the chat, buddy. No worries. You can,
Yeah,
you just let us
absolutely.
know.
Yeah,
You shout it out. If I'm not loud enough, you just say the word. We make it happen. Just a touch. It's all good.
Waters, just let me know if that's any better, man.
Checkity check.
Oh yeah, the echo thing occurred to me again, and I was like, "Don't do the double check." Never mind, audio thing,
Just
not double check. Sorry. Grows the immune. Wicked, it doesn't grow the immune system.
No, that was terrible, man. Oh. Anyway.
So, are we on track? Are we on track again?
No.
No.
Jump back to the top.
Yeah. Okay. Go back. Abort.
What do you miss about the 90s? We're gonna spin it back. We're going back.
Dude, like Saturday morning cartoons, man. Like, and I know that we have a section for cartoons,
call.
but like
Good call.
the feeling of waking up before your parents, grabbing a bowl of cereal and just sitting there and watching cartoons, man, was like
Hell yeah.
that was
All morning.
that was peak childhood to me. It was like that is my biggest thing that I miss, specifically the original X-Men series. Again, I know we have like media and cartoons specifically, but dude,
Oh yeah, no.
it's like sitting down and watching the OG X-Men cartoon and just smashing some cinnamon toast crunch and that was Gamer said after school cartoons on Fox. So Saturday morning cartoons were great. I also did the after school cartoons, but usually my after school go-to was Power Rangers.
So I'm gonna spin it back a few hours, and I
Okay.
don't know if this was a U.S. thing too, but Friday night on Channel 7, I think it was, or something like that, was TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. It was TGIF every Friday, and it was also TV shows. It was like Family Matters with Urkel,
Okay.
Step by Step, Boy Meets World, and like fucking Full House or something like that. It was 4 shows, so it was like 2 hours.
Okay.
Every Friday was TGIF, and you watched.
I remember.
shows, and we'd get like pizza. Every Friday was like get pizza from Pete's. It was a little pizza place.
Okay.
And just watch TGIF.
So I eat, and I heard you say, did you say the old dinosaurs
Water
show?
just told me to turn it up a little. Okay. Apparently
What?
I'm still low.
Still low.
I guess. That's what I'm hearing.
How about now?
We'll just let her ride. Maybe I gotta talk closer to the mic.
Maybe, because I have like all my volumes up now. Like you are like cranked up on my system.
Rank it.
Okay, Water said that helps. Everything is cranked out. Everything's at 100% now.
Is it my game? Maybe it's my game. I don't know. Anyway.
All right. Do we need to redo the entire 42 minutes of the show?
It's better when I
Hold on, back it up. Back it all up.
I don't want to talk like this. That's too close.
That's a little close. Rod's got to get going. Yeah, it is very late for you. I do know. Awesome podcast. Take care, Raj. We'll see you next time. Hopefully. Thank you so much, bro. If you're interested in catching up on the rest of the show, because I'm sure we're going to be going for a while here. This will be over on YouTube. We do have a YouTube account. Can we get an exclamation point socials in the chat to bring up our YouTube?
We might still be going when you wake up, bro.
We very could, because we are very, very much like tangent people that just kind of like wander our way through the shows aimlessly. So is it social or socials? S. I think there's an S. There we go. Feel free to give us a follow over the other socials and keep caught up with what we got going on. But thank you for coming in, man. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Anything else you missed?
Anything else? I mean, like, there's like, obviously you could get really
what we missed.
you could get really deep into it, you know, like the whole psychological, like, I just miss the feeling of being a kid and not having, you know what I mean? Like there is that, like, you know, like not having to worry about bills and having to worry about getting up and the zero responsibility. Like my biggest concern was making sure that I caught the next episode of Power Rangers, you know, like those were the good times. And I know that, like, obviously at 15, I was starting to get into high school and stuff, you know, toward the end there. So, you know, making sure that I was able to watch, watch MTV back when it had music. How have we not brought that up yet? Back when MTV was a music television network, you could sit down and you could catch some music videos from your favorite artists and stuff. So, I mean, all that kind of stuff. You know, those are the things that I miss. And just like the being able to be a kid, go out and play with your friends, go out and run the streets and not have any worries about, you know, anything. You know, I feel like, you know,
we get together, when we finally get to meet, you and I are just going to run the streets.
Yep. Bring a BMX bike and make sure you have some pegs on the back. All right, dude, we will ride the streets of Indiana like you've never. So all right. So that was kind of my tangent. Let's get over to yours. What do you miss about the 90s?
Like I said, I'm gonna stick with the TGIF thing. Like that was
okay.
I think of that.
Right.
Yeah, cartoons are given. I played. I don't know. I played baseball. It was cool being part of a team, I guess.
Right.
Got into skateboarding. Did that kind of stuff. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I started to go back to it like twice and then sidetracked twice. When you said TGI Friday, did you mention, because I forgot already, did you mention the show Dinosaurs?
No, that was on it.
Oh my god.
TGIF definitely like changed based on like shows and stuff. So Dinosaurs was part of that. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I remember Dinosaurs, and man, what a good show.
Yeah.
Like that was
a little baby.
Oh yeah. The dad in the flannel shirt, like the overweight dad. I'm the baby, gotta love me. Exactly.
There it is.
They know. They remember. Chat remembers the Dinosaurs. All right.
Nice.
JC said all she did was school for 2 years, work, and drink every weekend. JC, I feel like there's a whole side of you that I really didn't know. You're like, let me tell you about my party days. That might, but man, yeah, the shows that were on back then, Alf was a good show. I don't remember if that was a TGIF thing though. I think that was just elsewhere in there, but if we're gonna get into shows outside of TGIF, Star Trek: The Next Generation was. Oh, it was like a late night show.
Like, not really.
So that was like a late night show that was like a privilege for me to stay awake and watch because it was like past my bedtimes when I was younger.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yep.
like getting to stay up and watch Star Trek: The Next Generation, it's like huge. Star
My
Wars
uncle
trilogy.
was big into that.
Was
My
he?
uncle was big in, yeah, my uncle
Okay.
was big into Star Trek, so I saw a little bit of it, but yeah, I was a little. I didn't get too into the Trek. Yeah, I didn't really get into Star Wars either. It wasn't my thing.
I was a Star. Now, Waters, I have to ask you because you said the Star Wars trilogy, but are you talking about because there was only ever one Star Wars movie made in the 90s, and that was in 1999, The Phantom Menace. So are you talking the
Maybe
the
going the OG
sequel
ones.
or the prequel trilogy? But then the OG ones were like 80s. Oh, the 90s remasters. Okay. I can accept the 90s so Star Wars original trilogy was remastered in the 90s. And for anybody who remembers like the VHS, it came in like the gold VHS box set. Oh man, that was yep, I own that one. Waters, you've got to remember what I'm talking about. I know you remember. Hell yeah, he says. So yeah, it was the VHS 3, VHS cassettes that came in one big box.
Yeah.
And it was the remakes, not the remakes, the remasters. Brighter lasers, brighter lightsabers. They added new animals all over the place because you know what Star Wars needed? Instead of having like nice scenic landscapes, we needed giant CGI creatures in front of the screen. That's what we wanted.
Sure.
You know, there were some stupid things about the remasters, but in general, yes.
Is JC talking about Twister the movie with
Bill
or
Paxton?
Twister the board game where you put your hands and feet on dots?
Well, with how much JC's been talking about partying, I can imagine that there was like parties in Twister in a lot of
Hands and
these.
feet on dots.
Yeah. JC just getting wasted.
Oh,
Right
cool.
foot
Great
blue, let's go.
movie.
Yes. We'll only notice the episode 3 in the theaters. God, Wicked, you're a child, and I love you, but damn it. Okay, the movie. Okay, yes,
movie. I love
yes,
some flying cows.
yeah. I gotta go. We've got cows.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great.
There's a sequel. There is a sequel to Twisters coming out.
I know.
Okay, you've heard about
know.
this. Apparently, Helen Hunt is not on board with the sequel, which has some people upset. Which I haven't seen her in anything in a very long time, so I think she might be like retired.
Bill passed away.
I think he did.
Bill's gone.
Bill Paxton passed away. I'm 99%
While ago,
positive.
yeah.
Yeah.
All we can hope for is Dusty.
Dude, he's dead.
We need Dusty back.
No, he's dead. He died.
he?
He died long time
That's
ago.
right. Oh my God, that's right. I forgot who he was.
Philip Seymour Hoffman, dude.
Yeah, I was thinking of him just as Dusty. I forgot that it was Philip Seymour Hoffman. My bad.
Yeah. No. So Bill Paxton died in 2017. And yeah, unfortunately, Philip Seymour Hoffman. So like, we have no shot of getting
A new cast.
It's a whole new cast for Twist.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be like Ghostbusters Afterlife, where it's like a bunch of like preteens and they're like, let's go out in my dad's Ford Bronco and we'll chase some twisters, and it's like Bill Paxton's old truck, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
The original tornado.
oh my God, it's the EF5. It's back.
Nice.
Oh my God. I saw Two Towers in theaters when I was 6. Two Towers was Lord of the Rings, though, buddy. You went from Star Wars to Lord of the Rings, but that's another series. I feel like Lord of the Rings didn't start coming out until the early 2000s. So, but okay, I do have to say, Bro Montana comment of the night, though. That's fucking cracked me up right there.
Well done. Good movies when you were young.
Yeah, okay, I get it. So Wicked, I know you're naming things from your childhood, but I do have to say, just like we started, we You do not possess the rank of master here, okay?
Let you remember anything from the age before the age of 4.
So interesting fact. Okay, we jumped over to movies now. What have we done? Okay, like where are we?
We kind of had TV shows, commercials,
Okay.
movies, and cartoons all as one.
Okay.
Big topic.
And which it is. And so I was going to segue a little bit because, as you know, and I think a lot of chat knows, I'm a big horror guy. That's
I
like
didn't know that.
you didn't know that. You didn't know that. It's like
I
my
had no
my
idea.
xenomorph t-shirt. Okay, well, so for
This is
I'm
new information.
I don't mean to catch you off guard, but I'm a big horror guy. My love of horror movies started back when I was young in the 90s. I was too young to be watching the original Night of the Living Dead. I can't name how old I was, but I'm seriously talking like early 90s here, okay? And
Yep.
I remember seeing like the zombies on screen. It was black and white, the original 1968 George Romero one, like black and white. Like they were real people in real makeup, and like one of the scenes that really stuck out to me was when they tore into a couple, that had been in a car accident or something in the movie. All right. And like they obviously they weren't really eating, but like they used like back in those days, they just used like animal parts as like their special. So like watching these people like tear into like actual intestines and stuff, like at that age, it like scarred me, and I was like it was honestly like, man, I didn't want to be watching it. I was so freaked out by it, but then it kind of sparked that like kind of like, but I kind of like that, it's kind of cool, you know what I mean? And then from then on, I mean, I was watching everything, I was watching the Aliens movies, Predators, catching up on the Hellraiser movies. So it is from a very young age, I started watching all of the classic horror movies. And I remember 1994 specifically, I remember my family took a trip to Colorado to visit an uncle. A little bit of things that we miss here, okay? Road trips back in the day, like my family rented like one of those huge vans, and like my dad like took the back seats out and just like laid a mattress in there, and he was like, you kids can just ride back there for 14 hours, it'll be fine. And like
no TV screen.
No, well, but this this was a fancy van. It had a TV in it. So they allowed us to bring along a couple of movies. We went and got a couple of VHS, and it was an Aerostar van, I think. But I think that's what it was. And one of the movies I brought with me was the original Halloween movie. And so again, I know that's like from way before the 90s, but this was the 90s when this took place. So cut me some slack. I watched on that trip because like we had like 3 movies that we brought with us. It was like a 14-hour drive there and back. So I can't tell you the amount of times I watched the original Halloween movie on that trip alone, but that like solidified that as my favorite horror franchise. I was like, this is freaking amazing. And so yeah, my that's where I first found like my one of my favorite horror fans was from like 9 years old, watching teenagers get murdered in the driving 85 miles per hour down the road unsecured in the back of a van on the way to Colorado.
You and Mrs. Huey have a lot in common with that. She watched a lot of crazy movies when she was younger too, and I've never seen a bunch of them. And she's like, "Yeah, I watched that one. Yeah, I watched that one." Like, oh boy, nice.
Yep.
Safety first. Yep.
Safety like third back then.
Safety third.
Well, safety third.
Okay. 2 things with what you just talked about. First, terrifying childhood memories. First, traveling. Yes. No TVs. I don't remember when I got a Game Boy, but there was like before that, and like the only thing that you had to like keep busy was like I remember having like the little checklist sheets, and it was like first person to find all the crap on their list. One
scavenger hunts.
Parents kept busy, right? It's like first person to see a horse. First
oh
person
man,
to play with a C in it.
Travel games, yes.
Yes.
Try to find all
Absolutely.
50 states on the license plates. Look, okay.
That's the
You get
US
like,
thing.
yeah.
There's only so
Oh,
many provinces.
okay. So for us, we have all the states with all the different. We have technically 50, though you're not going to
Right.
find a Hawaii. I Spy's another good one.
The
I
window
Spy.
entertainment. There you go.
Oh man, now kids just have tablets that they're just like,
Exactly. That's what I mean.
yeah,
Tablets and TVs.
yeah.
Everything.
It's
One other
it's
thing
it's
I
it
will
is a
say
it is a good thing though. That's a good thing,
that,
I
like,
think. But go ahead.
yes. Yeah. Things we miss, like you were talking about movies, is like the not all the special effects and stuff. Like you were
Practical
just saying, that is
effects.
huge.
Oh,
Yeah, like all
practical
the green
effects,
screen,
man.
all the green screens and stuff. Like the biggest one that disappointed me, gonna sound weird, but was the Wizard of Oz remake thing with James Franco.
Okay.
I don't know why. I just watched that and it was all green screen and all this
100%.
dumb looking shit. And I'm like, this looks so fake and I don't care.
Yep.
It looks dumb, them all flying through the air and stuff like that. I get it. If they do it right, like some of the superhero stuff's been cool, and I get that that's like cool when it's all storming and they're crashing into buildings, some of that stuff.
And those are the things that annoy me about superhero movies is the
Yeah.
big over the top action CGI F fests.
Yeah.
Like it annoys
like,
me, but yeah, go ahead.
When
Sorry.
it's not necessary, I fucking hate that. I wish they would go back to like the old, even if it's clay. Clay was like
Claymation stuff. Yep.
claymation stuff. Like it was just like, and all the special effects were just so much better back then.
Yeah. Oh, they 100%. Well, okay, but chat brings up a good point because they're talking about like the video store experience now.
Oh, we just went side by side again. We're back. We're not up and down anymore.
On your screen, we're back.
Yeah.
What is happening right now?
Oh no.
Oh my god.
That's small for me again. That's good. Okay, we're good.
Twitch is so stupid sometimes. So the video store experience. They're mentioning like renting movies. Blockbuster Video was big. Did you guys have family videos up there?
We did. We had like where Mrs. Huey and I grew up. It was called Video File. And,
Okay.
And Waters there. Yeah, you might remember that too. And yeah, you'd go rent. Yeah, your movies and your games. There'd be only so many VHSs behind the box.
Yeah.
Right. And if there were none left,
You're screwed. You're done
by that return spot.
Yep. And new movie day, when new movie day came around, you better be one of the first ones in that store to get that new movie, or you're SOL for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
Okay, so the reason I specifically brought up Family Video was because the guy who created Family Video, I lived like a block away from him. And
Really?
so like that started in Central Illinois where I'm from, and
Really?
and I'm actually still friends with his son, who is also like the lead singer of a band, the Timmies. Little plug for the Timmies. Go check out they're on iTunes.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm still good friends with him. But yeah, they started Family Video and then it grew. So I worked at Family Video when I was like in high school. I worked at the video store. One of the worst experiences you could ever have is restocking the shelves at Family Video or doing inventory. Okay, because okay, we didn't have the computer systems back then that we do these days. So the way that you did inventory in a video store, think of all the hundreds of tapes that you had. Each one of them had a barcode on it, and you had a paper list that you had to go around and check the barcodes and check it, whether or not it was supposed to be in the store or not. So that's how we knew about missing movies back in the 90s was manually checking barcodes on movies. I can't even imagine how easy it is nowadays. They probably just like go to the computer. They're like, doot. Yeah, we're missing like 3. It's a done. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
And the worst part about it is you weren't allowed to do it when you were open. So you always had to stay late. So you'd be there until like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, fucking checking barcodes. I'm not even joking right now. Checking fucking barcodes on movies or even DVDs because I was there during like you got paid for it.
Oh, okay.
But like still, you were there all night just reading barcodes off, and it was a terrible experience. So
okay, well, if you didn't work there, like Gamer said, just the renting movies experience, not the working
Right.
experience. Did you have to rewind? That's what Mrs. Huey's asking. Did you
Oh
have to
yeah,
learn to
be kind, please rewind. Oh well, you
Yeah.
did that. You did that when they came in though. So like whenever you got them out of the box, you would open it up and you'd take a look that the right movie was in there, and like and then you would get it out and you'd rewind it and you put it back on the shelves. So
Nice.
it was a pain, but usually you had one person standing there doing that. So. Hey, Miss Dirty, can you? I'm sorry to interrupt everybody, but Miss Dirty, can you go to the door and let Man Bear Pig in our house? He just got here, so it would be on the cover. Yeah, please be kind. Please. There's a Jack Black movie called Be Kind, Please Rewind, I think, and I've never watched it. I've never seen it, but I know it exists, anyways. LV video.
There's the doggy.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. That's why I got her going towards it.
VHS was on the way out, thankfully, when I worked at Blockbuster for the whole 4 weeks. Oh, okay, so that would be a lot different when DVDs came, right? And Blu-rays and stuff like that, where you wouldn't have to worry about the tapes as much.
Yeah, well, the only thing that it really changed though was the rewinding factor. We did still do the inventory factor the same way. It was terrible.
That's terrible.
Yeah, yep, manual check them. So I mean, but computers weren't what they are now. You know what I mean? Like, even as stupid as it sounds, like even back in like the 90s, like I didn't grow up with the internet in my house until like it was mid high school. It was probably mid high school, late high school when I might have gotten it in my house. Like it was it had a separate VHS rewinder, looked like an old 60s car. Yes. You would just put it in, just yeah, every time. Oh yeah. But yeah, like I grew up without the internet, and like that's kind of what we alluded to a little bit back toward the beginning of the show was like that whole running around with your friends out in the streets. It's like it was that like I did grow up with like video game consoles and that kind of stuff. So like I had games to play. Online gaming didn't exist.
Didn't exist.
Right? Back in those days, we had zero chance of meeting, Huey. You and I, zero chance. Right. Okay, or like maybe like in the like 100 millionths of a chance that we would cross paths, But yeah, like online gaming didn't exist. Everything was local. That LAN party experience. Everybody brings their consoles or their computers, and everybody hooks up to the internet at the house. So yeah, it was very, very different experience gaming back in the day.
For sure.
So have we successfully segued into gaming, or are we going back?
No, not yet. Okay. Any I want to do commercials. There's got to be some commercials. Commercials is a big
do you want to go first?
Okay, well,
or do you want me to go first?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
For some reason, and I don't know why, don't ask me for any rhyme or reason, the commercials that stick out the most for me are like Kool-Aid commercials. Like the Kool-Aid man just bursting through every wall of every building or house and just like coming through hard. Like for some reason, like that rings true in my head. Like that is 90s television right there. The Kool-Aid man busting through,
Yep.
So that's definitely a thing, like Kool-Aid. That's one that really sticks out in my head. I'm sure there are others that I'm thinking about others, but like that's like the main one for some reason. I don't know why, but like, so what do you got? What's one that really sticks out to you?
Two of mine, and I still remember the song.
Oh,
which most of the song by heart. And I'm mad at them for this.
Okay.
Was Taco Bell.
Oh, wait. Song for Taco Bell? Because all I remember is the You Quiero Taco Bell Chihuahua.
It was just one commercial.
Okay.
But they played it so many times that I remember the song.
Nice.
And I remember the dog.
But holy shit, that brings up a whole nother point right there. Like for everybody, again, some of our younger crowd needs to realize, like, like Huey and I grew up in a time where you couldn't skip your commercials or you couldn't pay for premium access
Commercials were a
to
thing.
commercials existed and you were sitting through them no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, just constant commercials. And it was a lot, depending on the popularity of the show, depending on the amount of commercials that you got too. So, anyways, I'm sorry, I had to. It just clicked on my head that we needed to like stress that point, you know.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Yeah, I remember the dog. Yeah, the Keto Taco Bell thing. That thing was.
the Yo Quiero Taco
dog
Bell,
was
the fucking
everywhere.
Chihuahua. Yep.
Yeah, and yeah, it was. How'd it go? I'm just a man, just a guy and a dude, and I'm hungry, and I'm going for
Hold on. Do you mean
going real fast.
no? This
Going
is
real fast because I'm going for a class for steak at Taco Bell. Jones and 4 grilled steak taco, steak stack king of beef. So I run and I walk because I can't run my horse to ride there. Got a shimmy, got a shake for a marinated steak and something at Taco Bell.
hold on a second.
I don't know if you're gonna find that.
No way. You have me so
Now you
intrigued
have
right
to
now.
find it.
Oh,
I don't know what it was even for. I don't know what it was specifically for. It was
God.
something.
Taco Bell 45-cent taco commercial back in 1994, dude.
It
Jeez.
was like a grilled steak taco, or it was the guy. I'm just a man, just a guy and a dude, and I'm hungry. Maybe that would bring it up.
Hold on. Start that
Taco Bell
over.
commercial.
I'm
Now are you doing
okay.
my stupid friggin' commercial?
Taco Bell. I'm just a man, just a guy.
We're going first class for steak at Taco Bell. Jones and 4 grilled steak taco, steak stack.
Wait. Hold on. Was it a guy walking around in a business suit?
Maybe. And then like a whole bunch of people end up like joining him. And
Yeah.
they're all going.
Hey, that's
Did you really
2001.
find
Get
it?
out of here. That's 2001.
Is it? Oh, now I feel bad.
I'm just a man, just a guy and a dude.
2001.
I failed.
And I'm moving real fast because I'm going first class for steak.
Oh my god.
It looks like he's running to take a shit.
Did I get all the lyrics right?
I think so.
It's new. It's steak. It's only at Bubba.
Oh man.
Oh my god. Okay, that was good.
I
But
feel bad that it's not in the 90s. Damn it.
yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Hold on.
Instead, for this cause, a man shall.
I don't know why I remember that song, but it's just.
Well, I mean, it was very catchy. Church of Christ. I don't know what. Oh,
Time.
for okay. Just
Yeah.
some reason,
It
Church
was
of
just
Christ
on
just
way
came
too
up.
many times.
Nice. All right. Well, there we go.
When was all like the what's up? When was all
Oh,
that?
that was
the
early
90s?
too. That was early 2000. Was that what was that? Budweiser? No.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was Budweiser. That was one of the Super Bowls, wasn't it? Started at one of the Super Bowls.
Oh, 1999. That counts.
We never went to Hip Clips. You gotta look up Hip Clips.
Below, you
I don't know what
have
Mr.
no
is talking
idea.
about.
Welcome to my life.
More of everything you love. Plus, the new 5 Beyond.
Oh, we'll get there. We'll get to hip clips. Okay. I don't. We'll have to look it up after this. There we go. The WhatsApp commercial. Yep.
Hello? Yo, what's up?
That was 99?
Yeah.
Having a bud?
Or
December 1999. It barely. You barely caught it.
classified. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Are we gonna get copyrighted for this? Shit.
Oh,
Shit.
fuck.
Shit.
More
Sorry.
editing to do later.
Oh my god. All right. Fuck it. We're playing through now. Pick up the phone.
Fuck it.
Where's Dookie? The guy on the computer. Man.
I don't know about other commercials.
I don't know. Commercials is one that doesn't. Like I remember some. Yeah.
Yeah, once you watch them and see them again.
Ain't no one copywriting you? Gamer, I beg to differ. You know
got
how long?
nailed for the
Do
Slipknot
you
episode.
have any fucking clue how long it took? No, I'm not talking about on Twitch. I'm talking about on YouTube. We couldn't
Yeah.
get the fucking video on YouTube for like 3 weeks and had
For
to
a
cut
muted-
for
yeah.
muted videos. It would not let me publish.
We had to edit out the fucking drum solo part from the Slipknot
Yep.
episode.
Yeah, just because the video was playing. So yeah,
Yeah.
we 100. Yeah, it was YouTube, not Twitch. I'm sorry, we should have clarified. Not Twitch. Nobody cares about Twitch. All right. So
Mrs. Huey had to let the dogs out. Mrs. Huey, we're gonna go back and watch the replay of this because you missed me singing the Taco Bell commercial. And then Mike actually fucking
You, like,
found the
nailed
Taco
it?
Bell commercial,
All
and I
right.
nailed it.
hip
Are you looking it
clips.
up again?
No, hip clips.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The hell is a hip clip?
Oh, the hip clip. Okay. Yeah, I crushed it. I crushed it, Mrs. Huey.
What is this?
What is a hip clip?
I have no idea. I've never seen these in my entire life.
Yeah, and do you want to see our little
I apologize for all the background noise, Chad.
I can't see it on the thing.
Oh, it's because I don't have it up.
Will do.
Apparently it's these little... Well, here's one that looks like it has NSYNC on it. Your favorite radio, all your favorite songs and artists.
Don't remember those.
Me neither. That's no. You know, I'm just gonna be like super misogynistic here. That's clearly a girl thing. I don't
I will sing
remember.
for you later, Mrs. Huey. Yes, absolutely.
It was a girl thing, Miss Dirty says. Okay. Yeah, I kind of figured by the NSYNC and Britney Spears on this very first one that I found, it was definitely more of a female geared thing. But anyways, hip clips, little portable music players. But while we're on the topic of portable music players, Huey,
No, that's the technology. We're not
come
there yet.
on. All right.
Hold on, we're not there yet. We're not there yet.
All right.
We gotta go.
all right.
We
Fine.
gotta let's run a quick list on
Okay.
the cartoons then. Because
Okay.
you were the first person to bring up one of the pictures that's on the screen right now. That was your first choice.
What's that? Oh, Power Rangers.
Power Rangers.
Dude, I had to actually minimize the window and be like, wait, what the fuck did I put on the screen? I've got too much stuff. Yeah, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was huge for me. I was definitely like every time Power Rangers was on the television, whether it be morning, noon, afternoon, not like I had to get Power Rangers going. I had to see like one of the biggest moments, man, whenever the Green Ranger lost his powers, but then they brought the White Ranger in and it turned out it was Tommy. Like he got White Ranger powers. Like it was like mind blown, you know what I mean? So oh my god. Power Rangers was top tier. I had the toys, like all not like just like the little action figures. I had like the 14-inch action figures with all the opposable joints and everything. Like you couldn't beat my Power Rangers collection. The Megazords, the Dragon Zords, all of them, dude. Anyway, sorry. I could go on.
Nope.
There's a new Power Rangers on Netflix right now, and I've watched that. Okay, like it's the old team.
Episode just the Power Rangers.
Yes. Oh my god. But it's so like, oh my god. With Power Rangers, it's obviously it has like the influences.
We're gonna get you a Pink Ranger out.
I love the Power Rangers. I was the Pink Ranger multiple years for Halloween. Oh my god, that's amazing.
Nice.
I was a Green Ranger one time. I was a Green Ranger. So anyways,
I was Ninja Turtle.
okay. Oh yeah.
I was the Ninja Turtles kid. That was my jam.
So, are you talking? What got you into Ninja Turtles? Cartoon or the movie, or the comic?
Cartoon.
The cartoon. Okay. I had to ask because
Yeah.
those were all
the
'90s
video
things. So okay. Oh
Yeah.
my dude, hold on. Can we just stop for a minute on the video game? One of the hardest video games in the existence of mankind, still to this day. Like, I will play Elden Ring 400 more times before I would try to beat the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles video
First one,
game.
right?
The first one, the one that's like
first one.
stupid hard.
Legendary.
Oh my
difficult.
God.
Yeah. I have that in that Cowabunga collection I talked about a long time ago. I
Yeah?
still yet to. I want to go back and fart around with that and stream that.
Okay. Well, because is that the one that's on like Game Pass or something right now? Or there's a newer Turtles game on Game Pass
There's
here
a
right
new
now.
Turtles, and then they did the Cowabunga one, which is like all 13 original like.
Oh my God.
old games.
Okay.
It's a big bundle, yeah.
Gotcha.
So I'll just stream that one day, but-
Absolutely.
You mentioned X-Men.
Oh yeah, the original X-Men series.
Watched
Amazing.
that a bit. The cartoons I remember like Darkwing Duck.
Oh,
and the
yeah.
Mighty Duck
Gargoyles.
and Gargoyles.
Ooh, love
Biker
Gargoyles.
Mice from Mars.
Yes, Biker Mice from Mars was so good.
Biker Mice from Mars.
I had their toys. I had their toys.
Yes, so good.
All right, so let's bring it since we mentioned toys there too, and shows that I watch. This pertains more to a movie thing, but like toys back in the day, like horror movies, like Aliens and Predator had like toy lines. It's like.
Nice.
Like if you like obviously toys that are catered towards children about creatures that are tearing people apart on live stream, whatever. Make it cute, it'll sell. You know, like those are the 90s right there. If you can make it cute, it'll sell. Anyways, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just trying to think of old cartoons.
Old
Thundercats.
cartoons. They're trying to throw movies at us right now, so I'm trying to ignore because we're not into movies yet. Thundercats was a good one.
Kind of, yeah.
We are media. Movies is a way to. I am avoiding movies right now. I know I had a little movie tangent about getting into horror movies in the 90s, but that was like a small thing. We'll have to. Oh, but hold on. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Okay, so I'm not done with Ninja Turtles yet. We're going back to Ninja Turtles. You mentioned earlier about like practical effects movies. And the original, not number 2, not The Secret of the Ooze, but like the original OG Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie was so much fucking better than it deserved to be. But it was such a good movie. Like yeah, Man Bear is like, yeah, he knows. No, I'll wait till after the show. But dude, like, and then like just like the giant suits that they were in, and
They're probably horrible to wear.
oh, they had to be. Like the suits improved over to number 2, and number 2 wasn't a bad movie, by the way. Like I still enjoyed number 2. We won't talk about number 3, but I still enjoyed like number 2. But when they went back to like feudal Japan, it was so weird.
It was weird.
It was very
I
strange.
still liked it.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to pick on it too much, but like none of them match the feel of number 1. The shredder and the final battle on the rooftop, and like I liked it because as far-fetched as it was, it still felt like a relatively grounded movie. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so we're literally talking about a movie with guys in giant rubber turtle costumes, and when they go out to the farmhouse and Raphael's like injured, and they're like sitting around a campfire crying with each other and shit, you're like,
Yeah.
what is happening right now? Like, oh my god, like it's like an emotional movie, and oh.
We gotta watch it now.
So we'll watch it.
Anyone have real
I've got it. The real weapons.
Real weapons in the movie.
Yep.
Wow.
Number 1. We're watching. We can't help. What with the weapons? Oh, but the reason that I asked like what it was you got into is because as I'm sure a Ninja Turtles fan, you're aware that it originated as a comic book.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Like one of the most ultra violent, inappropriate for children comic books ever written.
Was it? I've never looked. I've never read them.
Dude, it's adapted a little bit now, but like the original Ninja Turtles comic books were all black and white. The turtles didn't have any like defining features between the 4 of them, so like I think there were some where they were maskless, but then even if they had masks, like they were just like all like black or all the same color. You only knew who they were by their weapons they were using, but it was like ultra violent, like bloody murders and that kind of stuff. So super interesting that like a series with that far-fetched of a concept that was ultra violent became like a kids show. Like,
Weird.
what, like one, I would say,
Form.
I mean, absolutely. We're talking
Friggin' crazy.
movies, cartoons,
Action
figures, all the toys that you could get that went alongside of it. That was probably, honestly, one of the biggest cartoons in the 90s. It had to have been.
I had a recliner. I had a mini kids recliner. My brother and I both had a fucking Ninja Turtles little thing that you pushed out, and
Yeah.
the thing went. It was everything. Everything was Ninja Turtles.
Oh, so
I was
Ninja Turtles,
Donatello
yes.
a bunch of times. As
Oh, yeah.
Halloween, like,
Dude, Michelangelo was my favorite back in the day. Like Mikey, he's goofy. He's always, and they all love pizza, but Mikey loves pizza. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, don't give me that Leonardo crap. No, you stay out of this conversation. All right. So, anyways, I had to go on my tangent about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Let's.
I think we're on to movies.
Are we on to movies? Okay. What do you?
One.
Well, we're only an hour and a half in. That's no big deal. Okay. So do
We're
you?
on movies now, Miss Dirty.
Well, okay, movies. I saw Gremlins. Gremlins was a good movie. Hold on. I have to fact check. Huey,
I don't think I've watched. I haven't watched that
What?
since. Yeah.
Okay, you've watched
I got
it.
real scared as a kid on a few movies and never went back to watch them, and I need to do that.
Can we disqualify Miss Dirty for stating a movie that was made in 1984?
Cut.
Cut. You're out of here. But I'll give you a mulligan because Gremlins 2 was 1990. So
There you go.
this is well, she's obviously not going to remember anything from the 80s because she was born in 92. So she experienced Gremlins and Gremlins 2 in childhood, obviously, in the 90s. So
Okay, when you hear 90s movies, what comes to mind?
The Crow.
The Crow.
Oh my
Okay.
God, The Crow is probably my favorite movie.
That takes a turn from mine.
The feel that The Crow had, like when it was
think I've seen
made.
The Crow.
Whoa. Well, that's the end of this episode, ladies and gentlemen. I'm afraid we have to.
We're no longer friends.
I'm
Bye.
afraid that we're not friends anymore.
I don't know you.
Oh,
Watch it,
man.
Sorry.
Wow. Okay. So The Crow. And this is actually like I've actually been looking. No, like it's listen. I'm a dark, weird individual. You're not. All right. We're what is it? We are not your kind. Okay, like the Slipknot thing. Like you and I have had very different tastes and upbringings and stuff. So like obviously I watch mostly horror, but like as far as it was an action movie with like some supernatural elements in it, and
Now I'm interested.
oh man, it is. So you know who Bruce Lee is, okay? Like everybody knows Bruce Lee. His son Brandon Lee was an up and coming actor, and he was actually he was the star of The Crow, and he actually died making the movie.
Really?
There was an accident on set, and like the wrong kind of fake bullet was put into a gun, and he was shot in the stomach, and it killed him. And yeah, so like most of the movie was already done, so like all of his parts were still in there. But yeah, Brandon Lee died making that movie. And here recently, like I've actually been like I've always enjoyed the movie, but I tend to like just kind of obsess with certain things at certain times, and I'm like, oh, I kind of want to read the backstory and do this and that. So I'm actually trying to get my hands on the original comic book for it right now, which I won't go into all that right now. But like the original story and how it was all written and then adapted for the screen. Ignore all the sequels. Okay, nothing happened after number 1. It's just The Crow. All right, just the original Brandon Lee Crow was one of my top movies of the 90s for sure. It's probably the only non-horror movie that falls into my favorite 90 movies. So
There you go.
well, that being said, Huey, what was your favorite movie of the 90s?
Okay, well, when I hear the 90s, I think of Mrs. Doubtfire
Okay, that is way different. Yes.
and Hook.
Okay, so two Robin Williams movies.
Yes.
Okay, so is this a big Robin Williams fan thing, or is it just a
I guess so,
coincidence
yeah.
that it was? Okay, Hook, I definitely have to agree with. That was such a good movie. That was something.
Yeah.
Comedy wise, yes, I do like Mrs. Doubtfire. The Bodyguard with Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston, right?
Yep.
My Girl and 8 Seconds. I don't know what 8 Seconds is.
No.
But Billy Madison and Tommy Boy, Billy Madison, I love. Was Happy Gilmore back in the 90s too, or was that a little further along? I think it was. I think so. Let's just say that it was like Adam Sandler's peak comedy time was in the late 90s, I think, for sure. Dante's Peak was good.
Love Dante's Peak, yeah.
Double Toil and Trouble. I'm gonna have to ask you to not
Kate
cite any
and
Mary Kate and Ashley movies here.
Mary Kate and Ashley made it to B2S.
Oh my God, here we go. Oh, jeez.
For sure. Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber was a good one. The original, again, ignore all sequels.
The old Jim Carrey's, yeah.
The Mask.
Yes.
Dude, The Mask was so good. Old Jim Carrey. Oh man, now you got me going.
Yeah.
Ace Ventura. Thank you. Ace Ventura When Nature Calls. Oh my God.
Oh, Strudel's coming in hot.
Oh, here we go. Jurassic Park. Oh, how can I forget Jurassic Park? Home Alone 1 and 2. Space Jam. Wasn't a big Space Jam or Page Master fan. But because I'm a weird horror movie guy, I didn't watch a lot of kids movies. Godzilla with Matthew Broderick.
97, Matthew Broderick. Yeah.
The Mummy with Brendan Fraser.
Mummy, for sure.
That right there is a banger list of movies from the 90s.
Oh
Jesus.
God. Liar 2. Liar's way up there for me.
Okay.
Liar.
All right. I enjoyed Liar as well. Again, peak Adam Sandler time, peak Jim Carrey time, I would say as well.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Mrs.
Cole.
The Neverending Story, I've never watched.
I haven't either.
I've never seen The Neverending Story. I've never watched that movie. I'm not a kids movie person. Okay, I grew up on Predator and Aliens.
Out of all the stuff you never watch, you are now gonna have to watch The Neverending Story.
I am.
Yes, you are.
Oh no! Don't do this to me. Hocus Pocus was a good one.
Yes.
8 Seconds was a true movie about a bull rider. Okay. Ferngully, I didn't watch, but I remember that being a very popular movie. I still find it unbelievable with people, like, whenever I say, like, I haven't seen that kids movie, that people are actually surprised still. Because, like, they just don't fucking realize how weird I am yet, I guess. Like, do I need to dive deeper into the Shawshank Redemption? Mrs. Huey's coming in hot. Oh my God, what a good movie. When was Shawshank, though? Was that late 90s?
I'm not sure. Excellent.
That was 1994. Holy shit.
Is Titanic in there? I think Titanic.
It's gotta be.
It's all of my favorite, but that was huge at that time.
It was huge.
I don't think I don't like Titanic, but for that time period, that must be in there. Was Fight Club was in 99?
Ooh, Fight Club. Oh, hell yeah. Fight Club was a big one. Okay. Man.
Titanic must be, because I remember Titanic coming out in the
1997
movie. It came in 2 VHSs.
Oh, The Matrix. How can we forget The Matrix? Oh my God. Now we're going down the rabbit hole here. All right. Wait, Miss Dirty, are you talking about the Dracula that I made you watch with Keanu Reeves? And what's his name? Who's the guy who played Dracula in Dracula? He played Gary Oldman. Thank you, for shit's sake. That was. I apologize to Gary Oldman for insulting him and not remembering his name. He's like one of the greatest actors ever. But yeah, dude, Dracula was top tier, like poetic horror. I don't even know what else to call it. It was so good. It's like romantic horror. So
so sorry.
The mouse is getting closer to the end stream button is all I'm saying. No, that's like a defining movie for me too. That is like horror is fine. As long as you
I
can
have
get
a period of time. I have a period of time that you and I talked about that I have at the end of July. I have a lot of movies that I'm going to watch. Okay.
Mrs. Huey says Terminator, but that was an 80s movie. Terminator
Independence
2
Day.
Judgment Day, though. Okay, Mrs. Huey, I'll give you Terminator 2 because I think that was 1992, and oh my God, Terminator 2 was the best sequel ever made. All right, there's never been a sequel made better than Terminator 2. Fifth Element was good. Wait, what did I miss?
Judgment Day.
Oh, Fifth Element. Fifth Element.
I said
Gary
Independence Day.
Independence Day. Okay. Yeah. Yep. That's right. Welcome to Earth, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, dude, fucking Will Smith punching out an
That's
alien.
what I call a close encounter.
Scream. Ooh. She said Ghost as well, but Scream. Hell yeah.
Strudel said Scream up a little.
Oh,
higher
did he?
than
I missed it. Sorry.
Bro Montana. He said it was one of his best.
Oh, there it is. Yep. I do see it. Okay, so Miss Dirty, can you bring in your drawing, or do you care if I show it on stream?
Interesting thing about Independence Day, when he's punching the alien and yelling at it for stinking.
Yeah.
There's actually a stink in the area, and that he was just complaining about that, and they shot it, and they liked it so much they kept it in the movie.
Interesting. There you go.
Fun fact.
Dude,
Thank
fun
you,
fact. Yes.
It's not finished.
I don't care if it's finished. So Miss Dirty has been drawing something for me,
Nice.
and that's the ghost face with and then Michael Myers next to him. So
That's cool.
so anyways, so yeah,
Nice.
so yeah. I would argue Dark Knight is one of the best sequels made, if not the best. I love the Dark Knight. I really do. I love the Dark Knight, but I can't put it past Terminator 2. Off topic, not 90s related. I had a group of pagans come in. Pagans? I almost said penguins. Come in twice today, buy $900 worth of beer both times. Nice. Oh, The Rock, Nicolas Cage. So do you know The Rock? Have you seen The Rock with Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery?
Yes.
So have you ever heard the movie theory? What am I missing?
Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia, here we go again. Takes the crown. Then I've never seen. I've never seen or know anything about Mamma Mia. I know nothing about it.
Strudel,
But
we're gonna get
I
together
do know
and
that.
do all four of us on a show, and we're just gonna talk movies, man.
If you get me going on movies, like it's hard to
We're
get me
gonna
back
do a show
off of
together.
movies.
Or we'll have you and Bro Montana on here one show, and we'll just shoot the shit about movies.
So the movie The Rock with Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery, everybody who's interested, go look up the theory that it's actually like a disconnected James Bond movie. That James Bond is actually locked up in Alcatraz and escapes or whatever, but they have him. It's a good theory. It's got solid evidence, and it's the only way to make it to where Nicolas Cage stars in a James Bond movie. So we have to go with it. So, anyways,
When did Boondock Saints come out?
ooh, that was another good. That's a '90s movie.
That's gotta be in there. That's epic. That's gotta be in there.
Listen, hey, keep the volume down. Okay? Avery.
Spawn. Ooh. Boondock Saints was 1999. You just missed the deadline. Just missed the cutoff. Or not missed, but just hit the cutoff.
Nick Cage,
Jesus.
I'm gonna say Snake Eyes. I thought Snake Eyes was sick. That was a boxing one.
It was. Snake Eyes was good. I enjoyed that one. That was one of his less popular ones, though, to be honest with you. So
I loved that.
I enjoyed the movie, but Nicolas Cage for me is either Face Off or God, what's the other one? Con Air. When he's got the long hair.
I'm sorry. That was like when my parents. That was like they
Oh
watched
my.
it. I didn't watch it, and I never went back and watched it. I'm sorry.
You never
We need to
seen
make a
Face
list,
Off?
okay?
Yeah. Can somebody keep track of all of this? Miss Dirty, we did mention Hook because Huey was talking about some of his favorite movies. He said Hook and Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah.
One of the biggest flops in wait, what? The Clown, one of the biggest flops
Waterworld,
ever.
okay, yeah.
Oh,
I think
Waterworld,
Jay
yeah. I
was
liked
saying it was a
Waterworld
flop.
though. I liked
Waterworld
it.
was
It was
sick.
good. You
Yeah.
like Waterworld too? Thank you.
I know it's all. Like, say it's all
Everybody
God, Miss Dirty. Miss Dirty, Rockadoodle. Yes.
never seen it.
Chanticleer. Mrs. Huey's gonna laugh her ass off. Yes.
I see
love
Anaconda in there.
Rockadoodle.
JC with Anaconda.
Fucking
Hell
love
yeah.
Rockadoodle.
Okay, I've never seen Rockadoodle.
Oh, so good. So
See,
good. You
I-
watch the whole thing on YouTube.
I feel like we are actually building a list that each of us need to watch.
It's a goofy ass cartoon. It had
Okay.
cool music and it had
Was
real
it-
life parts and then not real life parts.
Wasn't it like
Yeah,
a
Chanticleer.
rockabilly thing, like a rock, like a kind of a hillbilly rock star, like
Yeah, and he
rooster
turns into,
thing?
like Elvis. He's like chicken Elvis. He's like
Nice.
the king. Yeah, so good.
Okay, so everybody in chat loved Rockadoodle, except for me because I don't fucking know it. So listen, I can't skip over JC. JC's hitting it hard right now with Anaconda and Tremors. Hell yes. Oh, Anaconda
Anaconda.
was so good for the shittiest
J-Lo and
movie
Ice
ever
Cube.
made, and John Voight as like the villain.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes. Fucking J-Lo and Ice Cube.
Starship Troopers. Miss Huey says that you're the one who made her watch Rockadoodle.
I did.
Okay. Okay. So I'm not not Rockin' Noodle Wicked. Not Rockin' Noodle. Rockadoodle.
Look it up on YouTube.
Oh man.
Look it up on YouTube.
Jack Event Horizon. Event Horizon. Love that movie. I need to find the cut where they put all of the really gory stuff back in. But oh my
Enemy of
god,
the
Event
State.
Horizon. Double
Enemy of the
Jeopardy.
State.
Enemy of the State was good.
Indian in the Cupboard, yeah.
Never watched that one either.
That's good.
I remember. See, like, it's funny because I mentioned that I worked at like a family video for a while. So like all of these movies that like I've not seen, like I'm familiar with them enough because I'm like, like I can just picture the covers of these stupid fucking movies. It's still stuck in my head. Like just it's like a nightmare dreamscape. Like stuck with all of these like movie cases around me. That's what it's like being in family video now. Hold on a second. Miss Dirty says Frankenhooker.
Don't know that
What?
one.
What the hell is Frankenhooker?
Blair Witch in the 90s?
It was
Yeah, I guess.
1999. That would have been. That was
99 was like 99 was crazy.
99 was a big year for movies. Frankenhooker was apparently 1990, but I don't know where that came from. But yeah, Blair Witch is right at the end. So whenever I talked earlier that most of the movies that would be on my list of favorite 90s movies, Blair Witch was definitely one of them that was on there.
There you go. Nice. That was a solid list.
So gamer, I agree because the marketing campaign, due to the general public's like lack of familiarity with the internet, like the people that distributed the Blair Witch made like the perfect marketing campaign where they had a website. They had like if you have information things set up, like they did the marketing like the Blair Witch was a real thing. And that they actually found that footage. And oh man, back in the day, that was fucking amazing. The Witches movie with Angelica Houston. They made a new one, and I think the kids watched both of them now. And I think I saw a little bit of that one. Man,
I watched that. It was terrifying.
it was. I can't imagine being a kid watching that. Like that would have been terrible.
No.
Bro,
Blade.
Blade was good.
Blade.
I feel like everybody's just Googling movies right now. Like we've just fucking turned our chat into like Google monsters, and they're just like sitting there going like, "What the fuck came out in the '90s? We got to get it on here." Deep Blue Sea. Oh, Deep Blue Sea was a good one. Fucking Samuel L. Jackson getting eaten by the shark.
Yes.
But yeah, Starship Troopers was another one that was mentioned that was really good. I loved, and like a lot of people misunderstood Starship Troopers for what it really was. Like it was like set up as like a spoofy sci-fi movie, you know? Like a lot of people are like, "This is a badass sci-fi movie. They're fighting bugs and stuff." It's like a totally like a political mockumentary movie, like making fun of like politics and like you have to, if you want to be a real citizen, you've got to go join the army and fight and fucking, and then like everybody just goes and dies, you know, like
Yeah.
and like, you know, they're like, obviously, you know, there's some politics involved. Like they're going like fighting bugs that are like, you know, the bugs, and it's like they're going to like a non-technologically, you know, culture. It's like, oh my god, this movie's fucking like really offensive if you look into it.
I haven't seen Starship Troopers. I think I was younger and it
Oh
had like
my
nudity
God.
in it and stuff, and it was like
It did. It did have some boobas in
watching
it.
that movie.
It had some
Yeah,
boobas
so
in
that's
it,
why I
but very,
never-
very mild. All right, mostly
I never
side
went back and
boob.
watched it.
All
No,
right,
it was
all
like-
right.
You're not watching it. Never went
Ooh,
back.
Bro Montana, Silence of the Lambs. No, nobody's mentioned that one yet.
No.
I actually just rewatched Red Dragon not too long ago, which was a prequel to Silence of the Lambs. But Silence of the Lambs is so good. Anthony Hopkins was at his best. Curly Sue.
Curly Sue, yeah.
Gamer says boobies were awesome. Anyways, just throwing it out there. Boobies are pretty good. All right. So listen, I think we knew we were going to fall down this rabbit hole, but do we need
Yeah,
to?
okay.
Do we need to get out of it? Do we need to?
Topic change.
We've got a topic change. We've got to get away from movies.
Music.
Music. Oh my God. This is gonna be
That was only topic one.
We knew this was gonna happen. We knew it would happen. It's okay.
Right now.
So,
Trouble
okay, the tub thumping, Chumbawamba.
right into it. Chumbawamba.
Big shiny tunes. I don't remember that one. I don't know that
It was
one.
just a mix of all good songs. Like
Okay.
they had like Big Shiny Tunes 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever was big.
No diggity. I don't know what no diggity is.
That's a song.
Oh, it's a song, but hold on. Like, let's go bands.
Yeah. I remember Aqua. That's why I
Yes,
put
we
Aqua.
have. Yeah.
Barbie Girl.
Huey suggested Aqua go on our page here because Barbie
Aqua.
Girl. Everybody knows Barbie Girl. Everybody remembers.
NSYNC,
Everybody remembers Spice Girls.
Spice Girls.
Um,
NSYNC.
TLC.
Ace of Base. Ace of Base.
Blackstreet. I don't know what Blackstreet is.
No. Maybe Backstreet. Maybe it was a spelling. NSYNC. Bon Jovi, Def Leppard, Guns N' Roses.
Yep. NSYNC, Bon, Def Leppard. Those are mostly 80s. They existed in the 90s though. Miss Elliott,
Hanson.
Nirvana. Okay.
Bop.
I was waiting for Nirvana to come across because I was a big Nirvana fan too. Rage Against the Machine. I mean,
That
oh
all 90s? Holy fuck.
yeah. Country bands as I was line dancing in bars before I turned 21. Beastie Boys. So Bro Montana, before you were on tonight, or before we were on tonight, I think, right before the stream started. I don't know if that was during the stream or or right before. I made the comment that with the sideways hat that Huey looks like he should be like in the Beastie Boys. So yes, Brass Monkey, like a Brass Monkey. Exactly, you know. Aerosmith was popular in most you could say Aerosmith safely, gamer, because you're covered everywhere from like the 1950s to current. Even though Steven Tyler these days looks like the cool aunt that would buy you alcohol when you're underage. So he's gone through a little bit of a looks transformation. Shania, Faith Hill, Alan Jackson. Okay, Mrs. Huey, you're getting into some country
Mrs.
music.
Huey and Jace are doing the line dancing.
Okay, that's what
They're
this
doing
is.
the country talk. Yeah.
Super wide angle lens, throwing his hands at the camera. Love it. Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
Yes,
I like that.
you are a Beastie Boy tonight. Congratulations. So Huey, okay, let's before we get too deep into chat, let's give me a year rundown. What was your musical taste like through the 90s?
Oh, fuck me. I 100% had the Aqua album. I definitely had the Aqua album. I had
All right.
Ace of Base.
Okay.
I remember having Hanson and Sync. Early night.
Okay.
Those are some of my first CDs I remember owning.
Okay.
Third Eye Blind, fucking Semi-Charmed Life and all that stuff. Third Eye Blind.
Huey, once again, me and you are very different people.
Oh,
We are so different.
It brings us together.
It makes the conversation flow good, I
We have a
feel.
lot of a
Yeah.
lot of similarities.
Right? Nude, I do see, no doubt, though. They were really good.
I feel like that is super. This is like grade. That's like grade 6 for me. I'm trying to think of how old I would have been then, but like later on, I kind of got into. I actually got into rap and stuff like before high school. So
Okay.
Before high school, I would have been just getting into high school at 14, right? Because then you graduated at 18. So I
Yeah.
graduated at 18. So yeah,
Yeah.
just getting into high school. All of grade school, I remember having like Aqua and all that shit in like grade 6.
Okay.
Something like that. I remember listening to CDs and stuff like that in grade 6. So,
Okay.
But then I kind of got it. I got away from all that stuff. I started listening to Limp Bizkit.
Yep.
Like Limp Bizkit came out then, and I started listening to that. And
All right, you brought it up, Huey. So can I show you something?
yeah, you can.
Do you want to? I'm gonna out myself in front of all of chat right now. You ready for this?
I'm ready. All right. What's happening? No. You do not have that.
100% have a Limp Bizkit tattoo.
Oh my god. Wow.
No regrets. Just so everybody knows, no regrets. All right.
Wow.
So
Did not see that.
the Limp Bizkit. I knew it was coming. Introducing the chocolate
you?
starfish.
What?
So listen, okay. So when I was like, I mean, little like
Hot
a little
dog
more,
flavored water. Yeah.
little more like late '90s, obviously, is when I started picking up how to play the guitar. And one of like the first so the guitar player for Limp Bizkit is Wes Borland, or the original Limp Bizkit lineup. He was one of my favorite guitar players ever. And so like one of like the first bands that I started learning guitar parts and stuff for was Limp Bizkit. And yeah, dude, take a wild guess how old I was when I got that tattoo.
14.
15. 50. I got this tattoo in the 90s
Nice.
when I was
I
14
did
or
not
15.
see that coming.
So yes, I'm glad that you mentioned Limp Bizkit so that I could do that. But
Okay,
because
I
that
had
was going to be on my
t-shirt.
list, obviously.
I definitely had the T-shirt with the mic and the fucking whatever.
Oh yeah,
Definitely had that T-shirt. And
that
then
was
I
the
also
Significant
had-
Other album.
Yeah, I had a Lego set of them on a stage. It was the Limp Bizkit little. Google that. That was cool as shit.
Really?
It was a little stage. It was a little platform, and they were all Lego pieces. Wes's face was all painted, and it had a cardboard backdrop that just said Limp Bizkit on it, and like he had the drums. Like it was a little Lego set. It was a
That's
Limp Bizkit
awesome.
Lego set. Yeah.
I mean, my tattoo's a little bit more of a commitment than the Lego set. But
Sorry.
I definitely
You are
appreciate.
God now. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not trying to just say.
No. Oh no. I'm just teasing. But yeah, dude, like, yeah, Limp Bizkit, that was a big thing for me. So you had, as you mentioned, you obviously like the Barbie girl and that kind of stuff. You listen to that. You had a rap stage, but then you also had a little bit of a rock stage in you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so was like Limp Bizkit the hardest rock that you had gotten into, would you say, in like 90s wise?
I think so. I'm having trouble
Okay.
remembering other stuff I would have had.
Okay. Gotcha. So
Molly.
my
Dark, buddy.
His sun's I know the sun's
sun is
going.
gone.
Okay, but I can do that. But then
There
it
you
gets a
go.
little bit
That's
more.
better.
No, it's not
That's
too
better.
bad. I could do that. It's a little bright to the eyes, but I can deal with that for a little bit.
No, you're good. That was
So my musical taste throughout the 90s would be, like I mentioned, Rage Against the Machine, Alice in Chains. There are bands like Danzig, mother tell your children not to. So,
yeah.
and then like they got me into like Glenn Danzig, the singer of that band, got me into like, I talked about how like my tastes kind of worked their way backwards. So like the original, the bands of the Misfits, was from the 80s. So I can't put them in here, but Glenn Danzig, Glenn Danzig started in the 90s. So it kind of like all lumped together, you know what I mean? So like I got into Danzig, was like, these guys are fucking awesome, moved backwards and got into the Misfits, which was like before I was even born, they started. And but yeah, Alice in Chains, like a lot of like darker, more depressing music, like rock music and that kind of stuff. There's like early System of a Down, I believe, was in the late 90s. Clearly the Limp Bizkit, I think we could put that to rest. I was clearly a fan of Limp Bizkit. And then whenever Slipknot first came on the scene back in the 1999 album, like I had it as soon as it hit the scene. So I don't feel like there was a lot of variation in my taste. Like you have a lot of variation in yours. Like you kind of spread out. I didn't. I'm like a rocker through and through. Like I've always listened to like rock and metal. White Zombie. I would say probably my biggest 90s band was probably White Zombie. Now Rob Zombie, but White Zombie, his original band back in the 90s, was I listened to it so much. So
my music kind of changed so much because I didn't really know, like we'd listen, like my dad really liked Rush and
okay.
I don't even know what else he would have, Bare Naked Ladies and stuff like that I remember growing up.
So
listen
yeah,
to his stuff, and then my mom listened to like a really like just mellow radio station, which was like, Celine Dion and stuff like that. So like when it came to me like finding music, I don't know, like that's why I kind of drifted into the whole pop shit in the beginning, and then
well, I feel like that can I feel like
rock and metal and stuff, so,
you bring up a good point there, though. We can kind of segue back into this, whereas like your musical taste and my musical taste was like based off like more my dad's musical taste. Like again, we're heading back to these like pre-internet days where like it wasn't like you listened to what was on the radio or what cassette tapes or records your parents had. Because I remember the record players, you know what I mean? Like we had record players in our house pretty regularly. So but yeah, like our musical taste, music wasn't as easily as accessible as it is now. So
you had cassette tapes, and it was mid childhood. You got that's the next topic, whatever, another topic, but like
yeah.
Anyway,
so anyways, I've music. I feel like chat's been contributing pretty well with music as well. So we kind of saw some insight into their musical taste. I did see some Eve 6 from Gamer in there. So Boot Scoot and Boogie for Mrs. Huey and JC Jean. They're over there doing their line dancing thing right now. No doubt. Blink 182. All that. Yeah. Korn was another big one for me. I loved Korn back in the day. Yeah. Not the band, not the vegetable.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the vegetable too, but that's just kind of off topic. So,
nice.
Let's move. We got to start moving through topics if we want to get through stuff. Toys, board games,
and Christmas must-haves. Do we have a video for this one that'll work? One of them was a YouTube, or two of them were a YouTube.
I do, and here we go. All right, Christmas. Do you want Christmas toys or do you want 90s tech? Toys.
Text next.
Here we go.
Christmas must-haves.
So. Oh no. Okay, we're good. Sky Dancers is what is currently on there. My size Barbie. Oh my god, these fucking commercials. There it is.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles action figures, baby. Hell yeah. Oh, so good. Oh,
So
Pogs.
good.
I forgot about Pogs, too. And
Pogs.
weird fucking commercials for Pogs. Street Sharks. Ooh, I forgot about Street Sharks, dude.
So good with the
Oh.
puppets, yeah. Really, yeah.
My sister had this game, Mall Madness. There's Miss Nerdy's Tamagotchis.
Oh yeah,
Skip It.
I had those. Yeah. Skip.
Oh,
it was
Talk
good.
Boy. I forgot about Talk Boy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What the fuck is Doodle Bear? What is that thing?
You used to draw on it. You used to draw on
Oh
the
my
bear. Yeah.
God, I didn't know about that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. There's Gak. Okay, Gak made its appearance.
There you go.
Caboodles. Trolls. I remember Trolls.
Trolls.
Oh my god. Girl Talk.
Pocket or something here.
Oh, they're playing Girl Talk, it says. Oh my god. Puppy Surprise. It's a pregnant dog.
Pregnant dog. Yeah.
Hold on, did you hear I don't know if you heard the commercial, but
I
it's
can't hear it.
okay.
I'm a little delayed.
The commercial is literally like, how many puppies are inside? Jesus Christ, it's a little weird. Oh
Yeah.
my god. Betty Spaghetti. No. Bop It. Bop It's a good one. Bop It.
Bob, it was good.
That was good. Yes, Spice Girls dolls. Hell yeah. Hold on. Soccer poppers. Hold on, I gotta rewind. Just the kids.
Sock 'em boppers. You just
Oh my
punch the
god.
Shit out of people.
And the
yeah.
commercial is literally just kids just beating the shit out of each
Yeah.
other.
Yeah. Forget a pillow. Let's just blow up a bag of air and just punch each other.
Polly Pocket.
Polly
I
Pocket.
remember
had,
Polly Pocket. There was a guy.
Mighty
There was a
Max.
guy. What was it?
Mighty Max.
Mighty Max. Okay, the guy version of
yeah.
Polly Pocket. Yes.
Yeah. I believe my first concussion came from.
Barbie Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Play-Doh jewelry maker? The fuck is that? Oh my god. Oh my god, Dream Phone. So Dream Phone looked like a game that girls could play, and it had pictures of dudes' faces. And then you
Yeah,
pick up
yeah.
the phone and it's like the voice, like, find out who really likes you.
Okay,
Jesus
yeah.
Christ. That's kind of
Nice.
cringy. Literally a label maker. Game Boy, there we go. Can we just, okay, Game Boy. Game Boy is probably going to get talked about a little bit more when we get a little further through technology section.
yeah.
But come on, Game Boy, everybody, we've got our, that was a big one. But what a weird commercial.
Yeah.
My Pretty Topsy Tail Doll. Oh my god. Okay, so that was our 90s commercial. There we go.
A little bit of reminiscing there. But
That is a pretty nostalgic right there. That's a good one. That was a good commercial. I like that.
I remember Pogs.
Pogs were big. Yeah, Pogs were a pretty big
That
deal.
was a lot. Yo-yos came back too. I don't know if you guys had
Yeah.
that in the States.
Yeah, I
Yo-yos
remember
came back.
yo-yos making a comeback. It had all kinds of different ones. I remember the light-up yo-yos being a really big thing.
Yes.
Like when you and they'd fucking be flashing and stuff whenever they're going. But
Yo-yo
yeah,
ball. Yo-yo ball, it would like stay down. It was like a particular
I don't remember that one.
yo-yo ball.
Jeez.
You might as well bring up the Google thing on this one because this is going to be a. I have
Okay,
a feeling
it's up. I've got it. It's already there.
Toys, board
Toys.
games, and Christmas must-haves. Now, I
All
think one of the biggest, hands down, was those freaking Furbies.
Oh my god.
That
I don't even
blew-
need to Google that, but everybody knows what fucking
That
Furbies are.
blew up. That
It was
crazy.
huge.
Furbies and Tickle Me Elmos. I remember you could not get your hands
Tickle
on
Me
those by
Elmos.
one Christmas.
Well, wasn't that? I mean, okay, so because there were like Tickle Me Elmo was essentially the cause of like the Karen riots of the 1990s, right?
Yeah.
Like every woman hit the stores and like fought each other for Tickle Me Elmos.
Yes, it was crazy.
That's
Crazy.
insane, huh?
People probably died for those things.
Furbies did too.
Oh yeah, they were. Yeah, that was a big one. I think that was the one before Elmo. But yeah, Furbies.
He says we had riots over Furbies too.
I don't doubt it. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Power Wheels. I still don't like Furby. Miss Huey doesn't like Furby.
I don't blame her.
I know, right?
Tiger handheld games, were those like? You mean like they had like
I
movie ones, like Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin and stuff? You just like played with like it was just
no, yeah. Okay, so these are them. I see them. I've got them up on the screen now. So it's like individually
Yeah.
labeled. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I remember those.
Again, I had the X-Men one. Yeah, all
Yeah,
licensed games. Yep.
Yeah, I
Yep.
remember that. Yeah, very cool.
Oh
I forgot
yes.
about those.
Me too. But man, they were like handheld arcade games.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, you know, graphically, obviously, they had their limitations. But when we were that age, they felt like handheld arcade games, right?
Awesome.
Oh, they're so good.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I was talking. I brought this up. I brought up that we're doing this episode with some guys at work.
Yeah.
And we ended up down this crazy rabbit hole of all the crazy toys too. It was
Really?
hilarious. Oh, we were talking Connects. Remember Connects?
Yeah.
You put the things together, you clip them all together, and you build stuff. Now you can build like roller coasters and stuff.
Yeah. These.
Yeah, Connects were big,
Yep.
and I think it was KNEX.
KNEX?
Yeah, Connects.
Oh, okay. It's a little different. I
Yeah.
got you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
all
Yep.
that stuff.
Those were big ones.
Yeah,
Do you see this life-size motorcycle made out of Connects? Thousands. Oh my god. That's like that's like Legos though. People build some crazy stuff with Legos.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, Mrs. Huey.
Mrs. Huey.
Yep. Okay, there it is. The Beanie Babies. The Beanie Baby craze.
So
Oh, all right. So what you got?
I
Anyone remember Moon Shoes?
collected Beanie Babies.
You collected Beanie Babies? I think we've had this conversation. We've talked about that. You still have
still
Beanie
friends?
Babies. Yes, because you still have Beanie Babies, don't you?
I do.
Yes. Okay. So clearly we're okay because I already knew about this. Not a big
So
deal.
we wanted me to bring them down from the attic. I did not bring them down.
No.
But I have like 150 Beanie Babies.
Have you
Collected them with my mom when I was younger.
Okay.
It was a cool thing that my mom and I did,
Okay.
and I still have them. I'm not the Beanie Baby fan in that. So you're not.
But have you had the opportunity to look through and see if you have any that are worth value? Because like a lot of those things still held value. They're pretty pricey today.
I've looked into it a bit. And
Yeah.
It is kind of a lot of hype around it that one person sold one for a stupid amount of money, and now they're. I actually have to get them like appraised and looked at because I'm not sure. But
Yeah.
there are like. It kind of blew up, and then everybody tried to make millions of dollars on them. And
Yeah,
they're actually
yeah.
not really worth that much. So
Right.
eBay is flooded with them. And
Are they?
I think I have a couple of them. I think I have the rare Princess Diana one or whatever, like certain.
The Princess Di. I
Whatever.
remember that. Yeah.
So I think I have the legit one, but I think it's not only worth a couple $100 or something. But yeah, I have a lot of those and a couple of sets of all the McDonald's ones. It was a big thing when I was younger. So
I do
Still
have
got
to. I did look up. Gamer just had a Christmas joy of his that he said. My Christmas joy played every day. Weapons and Warriors Castle combat set. So I have that pulled out, and that looks pretty damn cool.
nice.
I assume I'm on the right one, Gamer. Is that correct one? Because that looks kind of fucking epic. It does. It really does. I don't have any clue what it is, but it looks cool. So, okay. So,
What do you got for today?
well, hold on. Before we move on from you, you're not off the hot seat yet. Because I know you said you collected Beanie Babies with your mom. You mentioned we've talked about a few, but like, what was like your single definitive 1990s toy that's like that's the one? Do you have a singular one?
Do board games count?
Of course I do.
Okay, Tornado Rex.
Tornado Rex.
If you YouTube it, you can find the commercial.
Okay.
If you still have the YouTube one. Tornado Rex was my favorite. It was a huge box because you had this giant level. It should say like 91 commercial or something like that. If you just type in Tornado Rex.
1991 commercial.
Right there with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I'm probably a
What if
little
you could
delayed
do
here.
SEO smarter and faster. With Wix,
Yeah.
you can edit your meta tags.
I don't pay for premium, folks. I'm sorry. All right.
It was a giant box and board. You put it together and it clipped together, and then you spun him inside the thing. And if you pulled his card, you hit that button, and he came flying out of there like a
No
crazy
way.
top.
That
And if he hit your little camper,
You're fucking
sent you
gone.
flying, and you had to start at the bottom, and you had to try and climb the mountain.
okay.
You just
That's
kept
kind of
going.
cool.
It was sick. Love that game. It was huge too, right? Because you have two giant pieces.
Huh.
It's basically a ramp that he rides down.
Yeah.
You send your guys flying. It was
That's kind of
sick.
cool. That's kind of cool. I like
My
that one.
favorite. My favorite.
That was kind of cool.
about you,
I've
Steve?
never seen that before, but
Never seen
it,
that?
it was almost like Wish.com Tasmanian Devil.
Yeah.
but
Yes.
but with
Total ripoff.
total rip off of Tasmanian Devil. But that's a cool concept for a game, though. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. It was huge.
Okay, so a very definitive 1990s toy for me. And I feel like I'm taking the cheap way out because like it literally is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like I had all of the stuff. I love the teenage, and I know we've already talked about that one, so I feel like that's kind of a cop out. But that was like because even like throughout the 90s, the toys changed so much, that like. And they had all different variations. They had the motorcycles, they had the houses, they had, all the villains. They had like absolutely everything. There's just so much Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle swag out there. And then the dress up costumes, the little foam weapons that you could get, just anything and everything Ninja Turtle related, I really loved. And of course, again, once on something I've already mentioned because of course we jumped ahead a little bit, but the Power Rangers toys, like for whatever reason, a lot of action. I loved action figures. I was into action figures, but like the 14-inch Power Rangers ones with all the poses, like those were some of my favorites. Those are the ones I really, really liked. So I had the whole set. I had them all. I had the whole set. The whole team could fight. I had some monsters and, man, just loved it. And yeah, those are my like top 2 90s toys, I would say. I was not that into board games back then. I didn't play a lot of board games. If I don't know, like again, probably because it probably came out before Clue was one of my favorite, but it's a 1985 game. But like that was like the game that I played that I enjoyed whenever I was that age. So
Right. We had, I think Mrs. Huey will attest to this too. I think she had something like that too. Was the Ghostbusters toys? We talked about that. You had the proton pack you put on.
Oh yeah.
The trap you threw out, and you hit the you press the button with your foot, and it opened.
I do.
I remember all the OG Ghostbusters toys.
Okay, now that you say that, I had Ghostbusters toys too.
Yeah, I remember that thing.
Yeah, I don't know if I had the power pack, but I know I had the one that you put on the ground and you hit the thing and it opened. I definitely had that.
Okay. Oh, another one I looked at. That was like, I don't know why we played with this either. Was the crash test dummies. You ever see the crash test dummies?
Yes.
You put them all in the car and you just throw it into the wall and it explodes. I saw one where there was like a little torture chamber thing where you actually pulled the guy apart. You just ripped their limbs off and shit. Why was that a toy for kids?
There's no reason behind anything back in these days. Okay.
Crash test dummies torture chamber.
Yep. Yep.
you just
Didn't they
ram
have
it into the wall.
didn't they have like commercials and cartoons and shit too though? The crash test dummies, and they would just be just fucking disintegrated and
All their
destroyed.
body parts would blow apart.
Oh, like right there. They were dressed up like people.
Yeah.
Yep. Or people dressed up like them and they just like simulated car accidents and they're like, oh, are you okay, buddy? Jesus
Crazy.
Christ.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Jurassic Park playset. Mary had the car. Mrs. Huey had the car.
Okay.
Life-size
Okay.
Ghostbuster car out of wood. Nice.
Man.
Trying to think of other ones.
Sorry.
Mousetrap was big. I remember Mousetrap being a big
I remember
game.
Mousetrap. I do remember that one. Didn't play it a whole lot, but I remember that one.
We had
You did?
it was like Grape Escape. Grape Escape was another favorite of mine.
Grape
You made the little
Escape.
Play-Doh person. Another board game. I love a board game. You made the little Play-Doh person, and you had to get it through all the traps. And there'd be like scissors where
Oh,
you
I
get
see.
cut,
Yep.
or
Yep.
a shoe that would stomp
Yep.
on them.
I have
Grape
a
Escape.
sidebar of Transformers and Beast Wars. Those were
okay,
some
yeah.
more big ones. Though
Oh yeah.
technically
Beast Wars.
Transformers in 1980s, but through the even through the 90s they were pretty damn big as well. Beast Wars was definitely a 90s one. Beast Wars was definitely out in the 90s.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh God. We are very old.
A lot of games, I guess.
Yeah.
I can't remember all the toys.
Yeah, but games were a bigger thing for us back then because,
Yeah.
again, we go back to
Yeah.
the fact that we couldn't just get on the computer or just get on video games all
Yeah.
the time and hang out.
I remember one was like Slinky Dinkies.
Slinky
It was
Dinkies.
basically like a head and a bottom
Okay.
and a slinky in between it. And you threw discs out all over the ground, face down or whatever. And they had little suction cups
Yeah.
on the bottom, and you threw the slinky down, and you actually picked up the little cardboard things. And
Nice.
whoever got the most points, you like counted them up at the end. Whoever got the most points won. or
Okay.
whatever like that. You'd like throw the slinky down. You were trying to just pick them all up with the slinky.
It sounds like a newer version of like marbles.
Yeah.
It's like marbles, or not marbles, but what was the one, the bouncy ball? Then you grab Jacks. It kind of sounds like a different version, different twist on Jacks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another one the buddy brought up at work was Crazy Bones. Those little figures you used to get in the balls or whatever. You'd collect those. That was like the Pogs knockoff.
That's right.
Crazy Bones. Those round Velcro things you used to attach to your hands and play catch with the tennis balls. Yes.
Yep. I remember that.
Yeah, the disc thing, the Velcro ball.
All right, Crazy Bones sets. Look at
Crazy
this.
Yeah.
$500 for a massive set of Crazy Bones.
Yeah.
Crazy. That's I almost use crazy as a word to describe it, but that's kind of a
Huge
wicked.
collection of Crazy
Wicked
Bones.
was a Crazy Bones collector.
There you go.
Miss Huey, I think every kid had that. By the way, like the round paddle where it just velcroed. That's like how you learn to play catch.
What about
Yes.
creepy crawlers?
Creepy crawlers. Creepy crawlers.
Crawlers, I was going to say that, yes. I used to make those. That was the guy's Easy Bake Oven.
Yes. What was that?
What was the science one?
Oh, the one
Dr.
where you
Dreadful.
Because there was creepy crawlers.
Dr.
and then there was the
Dreadful.
other-
Dr. Dreadful.
Dr. Dreadful.
Yep,
that's
yep,
it, yes.
yep. Huey was on that
You
instantly.
used to put the sugar on your
Yeah.
hand and put water on it,
Yes.
turn it into a wart, and you lick it off.
Lick the wart off your hand. Yes.
Yes.
God, what
That
fun.
was awesome.
We were so disgusting.
Yep.
All right.
So good.
So good. Does anybody have any last minute toys, Christmas must-haves, board games before the next topic could be big. Well, we need, and we're 2 hours and 15 minutes in, so which I'm okay
Going
with.
for a B2S record.
We are. Every show we're going for a new record, I think. So I think we hit my main ones, and we've mentioned a lot of them that I remember, and that I remembered via tonight that I didn't remember before. And like you said, it's one of those things where the more you get to talking about it, you just like go start. We built so many topics to just start falling down this rabbit hole and remembering all the things that we used to do.
Yeah.
Ugh. Shall we move on to technology, video games?
Do it.
All right. So should I play the video first? We have a 90s tech gadget video.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll do that first then.
blast from the past on this.
Oh, and it goes kind of fast, so it's hard to keep up with. But I saw a Nokia phone in there. Pagers,
Yes.
Max VHSs, discs, cassettes. Oh, it's so fast. Stop going so fast. It is kind of quick, but that's okay. Yep. The Game Boy. Portable DVD player. Oh my god.
Had one. That's all I watched.
All right, it started over. All right, so there I paused on the Nokia phone. Those probably still exist and have battery life today without charging. Here we have.
It's going to last a year or two. but
Yeah,
that
exactly.
fucking
That
thing's still
fucking
going,
thing
man.
is still going. It's gonna last longer than in like human existence. Calculator watches. Original, and I don't think this is an iPhone. Oh, this is a phone because it has. Okay, so this is like an original iPhone. You see like the little symbol for the SMS texts.
Yeah.
Look at the old YouTube symbol on there. Holy shit, that's crazy. This is like a... Is that a kid's Nokia phone? Or is that like a legit Nokia phone?
I don't know.
I don't even know. It's some kind of Nokia phone. Palm Pilots.
Oh yeah.
Like, look, that is literally a handheld device that is a computer. It's a laptop that's like the size of, like, it's a little bit smaller than like a Nintendo Switch. I remember those. Motorola pagers. A Nintendo DS. It's a Nintendo DS that was like meant to be like a laptop. It had like the little computer screen. You had your start menu and everything down in there.
Yeah.
Um,
Fucking mouse ball.
the mouse ball, Mac. This is the original Mac computers.
The big color. Oh, that thing. Yeah.
Your VHS, you know, your floppy disks, cassette tapes. Okay, I was unfamiliar with this one. Nokia Engage. I feel like that was like a phone of some kind.
Yeah.
I mean, most Nokias were phone, but that had like a little weird screen on it. I don't know what
was there
that's all
one where
about.
you like flipped it and it flipped up? I'm not sure. Like the fucking thing rotated and you could like
Is a smartphone. It was like the first smartphone.
the OG. Does it flip open?
No, I don't think
okay.
so. But there's,
Even this feels like
oh my god,
more up to date. Like I remember you remember the big ass, the big phones.
Oh yeah,
It was like a satellite phone.
Yeah.
now, like that.
Do you-
know
do
what I
you-
mean? Like, that was the original
Do you remember car phones?
car phones.
I
Yeah,
just they had you plugged your phone into the cigarette lighter for power, and it was like $2 a minute to use. It was fucking ridiculous. Oh, all right. TVs with VHS players built into them.
Yeah. The only thing you had at the back of the TV was a coax.
Yeah, that was it. Coax. Okay, well that's it. CD, tape, cassette combos. Oh, here you go. Rotary phones. Have you seen the videos where they put like a 2000s kid down in front of them and they're like, "What is this?" And they're like I have no clue what this
I
is.
saw one where they gave a little girl a Game Boy and she's trying to touch the screen.
Oh god, it makes me so sad.
I know.
That is terrible.
Doesn't know how to use it. It's like, oh.
Here's like
Poor
your
thing.
first digital cameras
Oh yeah.
back before you
Even
could
this
just
feels newer than what I'm thinking.
two-way radios, walkie-talkies. There it is, the Game Boy. That was defining for me right
Yes.
there. Oh my god, getting into Game Boy. The
So
the first portable gaming system that I ever owned.
Yeah.
That I mean, that's I say that I ever
Something to
owned.
do on the long drives.
Yes, I don't
Finally,
have to. I don't
leave me
have to
alone.
watch the 1979 Halloween 15 times anymore.
Yeah, I had that giant fucking thing that you clipped onto it that had the light and the
Yeah.
magnifier. You flipped it open. It had the magnifier and the light you could play in the dark.
Yep. A portable DVD player right here. This is
Look at that thing.
God, what a monstrosity.
Nice.
This is your... What is this? I mean, it's like a personal computer. I mean, essentially what
Yeah.
it is. God. There, is it time? Is it time, Huey?
Okay.
Come on.
So when I was up in the attic digging for this thing and all my old stuff, I actually came across my original Discman.
That thing is badass.
Look at that thing.
Dude, what
The
are the stickers you
Sony-
have on it?
I've got the Devil from World Industries. I got DC. I got a Bart Simpson, and this my buddy actually made. It says Yellow Pages, and that was like our little skateboarding group.
Man.
I bet you it still works.
I was saying, I wish you had a CD to pop
I
in
wish
that
I
thing
had a
right now.
CD and we could play it. I guarantee it still works.
That's crazy.
Oh, I got another Yellow Pages sticker under here that he made. But I brought this in to school, and I actually had a little pouch that you put this in, and I wore it on my hip. Oh
Man,
yeah,
you were
It would
an
skip,
edge lord,
right?
dude.
You'd be walking,
And just be skipping.
right?
Yeah.
The disc would skip, and
Yeah.
the song would get all fucked up.
Yep.
You couldn't really do much with it.
Your
Like, you had to
CDs would
walk
get scratched up
Yeah,
just from
exactly.
running in the fucking Discman. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So good. I found this buried in my stuff. So
I love it.
there you
And
go.
my biggest problem with them is that the digital readers on the inside of them, the little eye that moves back and forth for the songs,
Yeah.
those would always like burn out and quit moving. The little motor.
The little fucking laser.
Yep. That would always burn out, that little motor, and then you'd have to go get a new one because, for fuck's sake, they were a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
So,
What is
oh,
this, 2 AA's? Oh my god, the batteries are still in it.
Duracell.
Duracell.
Hey, listen, if you could fire that thing up right now and it still worked, we would probably have a Duracell sponsorship. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. I have a CD in my truck actually.
Oh God, is it a Limp Bizkit CD? Because I mean, we're all in on that now.
It's it came with I got the Stone Sour vinyl. It's the first Stone
Oh,
Sour
okay.
album on CD.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in my truck.
Nice.
It's the only CD I have in my truck.
So here it went backwards. One, it actually went to like a Sony Walkman.
Oh, a cassette player.
Cassette player. Which I obviously I liked CDs. It was nice to the upgrade in technology, but I almost feel like the Walkman, even though it sounded worse, was a better piece of technology. I mean, unless it wrapped up the tape that it was on, but other than that, like it didn't skip, it didn't have a problem. Like, it was so much better.
Yep.
Okay, and that's all. Okay, so that was back to the very first one of the handheld game. It was kind of like Tiger Games that you mentioned earlier. So yeah, there we go. There's our '90s tech gadgets. But damn,
It is wild to see, to think of like why were pagers? I don't understand how that even became as big as it. I guess was it cheaper than a phone?
yeah.
Oh,
It was a lot cheaper than a phone. Well,
Was it? Okay.
And at one time, like you would literally, because like pagers were before cell phones, so like you would get a page to call that number.
Yes, you
And
have to find a phone.
Yeah, and you have to go find a payphone. Yeah. So can we almost say that pagers are like the original text message? Like, hey, give me a call, blah blah blah, and you get a page.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So text messaging evolved from pagers. I'm gonna claim that right now as fact.
Yeah,
I'm not
blow your mind.
go for it.
I'm gonna blow your mind.
Do it.
I started at the plant where I work
Mm-hmm.
in 2012.
Okay.
2012. I started at the plant. They were still using pagers. They had
Wow.
a plan with Rogers. Everybody got one. And if they needed to get a hold of you, they paged me. I had a pager for a year or so. And it was like, hey, give me it. Because they didn't want everybody using they didn't want to bother you on your personal cell phone. But they needed a way to get a hold of you if you were at a different building or whatever.
That's
I had
crazy.
a pager, and it would be like I had to call my lead hand or whatever. Basically, everybody just used it as a clock. They
Yeah.
didn't want you wearing watches as an electrician either.
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
Just they didn't want you wearing jewelry in case you got caught on something. So basically, everybody just had their pager in their pocket and then basically used it as a clock.
That's
But they
insane
had a plan in 2012
for pagers.
for pagers. And they
Jesus.
got rid of it not long after I started, but yeah, I had a fucking pager.
That does surprise me because I feel like that's something that was out of date long before. And I mean, like publicly, yeah, it was way out of date
Yeah.
by then. But that's just crazy that still existed as a useful function.
Yeah,
Huh.
you're talking like 2012 was like.
Yeah,
11
11 years ago.
I remember the phones I had. Like I think I had like a Samsung Galaxy G7. That was when Mrs. Hugh and I had our G. Like I remember that. Like when we were up here, we had that, and then our first couple of iPhones or whatever. Like
Yeah.
and I got a pager at work. Like what the fuck? It's crazy.
You go to
Talking
work and you step backward.
smartphones and
You
everything.
usually you would think that you would go to your company you work for and they would have better technology than you could have at home. Nope. No, here's your pager.
I got a very smart smartphone in my pocket. And you're giving me a pager.
Right.
What the hell?
Nice. Jesus.
Oh boy. Okay.
So where what do we want to start with? I mean,
I'm gonna throw some programming stuff at you.
oh god. All
I
right.
remember-
That sounds really technical. Programming stuff.
ICQ.
I don't know.
You remember?
Okay, can we just to lead off? I grew up relatively poor out in the middle of nowhere. Like I grew up amongst the cornfields
Yeah.
and knew like except for gaming consoles, I knew nothing about computers until I was probably at least like 20 years old.
Okay.
Like I didn't do anything with computers until I was out of high school. So
Oh, we don't have to talk too deep into that.
no. Please do because that's part of the topic. But you just might have a little bit more insight into that than
I just
than
remember
I
all the
do.
goofy program. Like there's just the stuff. As soon like when we got a computer early and we got the you got the internet. It was like, well, what the hell do you do with this thing?
Yeah,
And
original internet was chat rooms and like travel blogs.
that's basically what ICQ was. It was just chat rooms, and you
Okay.
just talk to your friends from school.
Okay.
You just were cool all day with them, and then you fucking go and chat. And
I think my first interaction with that kind of stuff was probably like AOL or AOL Instant Messenger.
Yeah.
That's probably around like my introduction to. And I remember I didn't have it, but my buddy Brian, whenever I went to his house, it was like a big treat that he had this computer that could get on chat rooms and stuff. And I was like, this is fucking crazy. You're telling me these people from all over can talk in here? Yeah. Whoa, we just got a personal message from somebody. How many pedophiles were probably scoping around at that time?
oh yeah,
But yeah.
no, it was mostly just like you just spent all day with your friends, and then you talk whatever after school.
Okay.
Napster.
Oh,
Napster was like the first music.
LimeWire, Napster and LimeWire, dude, they're just virus central. Like, hey,
Yeah.
do you want to ruin your computer? Because you could do it here really easily.
Yeah.
Oh,
Frostwire. It
FrostWire.
was like a generic LimeWire once LimeWire started getting like banned and stuff.
Oh, okay. He said it was like when LimeWire started getting banned, it was like the Wish.com version of that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hey, do you want a bootleg a little bit more shadier than your bootleg? Like yeah, I fucking do.
Yeah. True. That's when MySpace kind of
Oh, I was gonna segue into MySpace.
social networking thing.
Yes.
And it was like every band that you liked, you just
Yep.
like, followed them in MySpace.
You could
never got into that.
personalize you could personalize your page and have like
Yeah.
music that would play when people came on your page and stuff.
Yeah. One of
The
first
backgrounds could be
social media
edited.
things.
See, I actually saw a meme not too long ago. I don't know if it was a meme or a true story. You know how it is, but it was like somebody like a girl suggested, like, wouldn't it be cool if we could put like music on our Facebook profiles? And like the person's like, it's officially happened. Like we've reached the generation that doesn't remember MySpace. Like here we are.
Nice. Yeah.
But yeah. I did again. It was I didn't do a lot with it. I think I had a MySpace page. But like MySpace was kind of already migrating out around the time that I first even got a computer, you know.
Yeah.
So like I like built. I'm like, oh, okay, this is a thing that happens. But it was also around the MySpace time that the Facebook, just clarified, it was called the Facebook when it first came out. And it was strictly linked to like being in a college. Because like when the Facebook first came out, it wasn't public. You had to be enrolled in college, and not every college had access to it. But then it started becoming more public, obviously, as it went on. So, but yeah, that was right around the time of the end of MySpace and then the beginning of the Facebook. I feel like we're probably delving a little too close to early 2000s territory here,
yeah.
but I was just, I don't know why I was just bringing that up. I think the Facebook was late 90s and then it became public 2000s and blew up.
Even like, do you remember like when you wanted to go online though? It took the phone line.
Dude,
So
the
nobody
noise.
could call.
The
The noise
noise.
is one thing, but like if you only had one phone line and you went on the internet, you weren't getting phone calls. Nobody
Or
could call you.
or
They would get the fucking signal.
or if somebody would pick up and it would remove your internet signal. You'd be like,
You'd
yeah.
hear the sound. Yeah.
Yeah. Should
I need the phone. Get off the internet.
yeah, right? Oh my god, the times we lived in.
Yes, like times like that. We don't have that anymore, right?
Yeah, that restriction just doesn't
long ago.
like
that, or you had to get another number, right? You had to get another phone line.
a second
Dedicated
phone
to-
line dedicated to the internet. Yep.
How like, oh man,
Yeah, can you imagine? Ugh.
crazy.
It is, and it's crazy that you know they say the technology doubles every or it's quadruples every 2 years, I think, like the capabilities of technology, you know what I mean? And so like looking at it in our timeline, I mean, we're talking about like we were born in the mid 80s and then everything that you saw in the 90s, you know, from 1990 to 1999, how much everything really blew up. Like it's insane. And I mean, we again, you know, we're only talking 90s.
Molly's wound. That's okay. Woo. Poor Molly doesn't understand.
Oh, she's just barking at everything. She's an asshole.
3 dogs.
But people are outside, so she wants to go outside. There's a lot of kids at the house right now. Anyways, no, just like, and I know we're just talking about the 90s here, but like from the time we were born to our current state of things, you know, whenever you talk about the, you know, the capabilities that we have, you know, you're in Canada and I'm in central United States right now, and we've been on here and talking for 2.5 hours, and you know, Man Bear's over there hooked up to the internet playing his Switch, and Ellie's watching in the other room, and we've all taken texts and phone calls and everything else, and like we're literally talking about, like, you know, 20 years ago that, like, you know, like you couldn't occupy a single phone line without cutting everybody else off, and here we are all just like everybody connected, you know. It's crazy. It's definitely crazy. I'm sorry. I feel like I've ignored chat for a while. I should probably go over. Gamer remembers Mike's face. Of course he does.
Yeah.
Concerts, the bands interacted. Picks up from Crash. How many times? And Diablo. Yeah. So like you're in the middle of a game and then somebody picks up the phone and just disconnects you from a server.
Yeah.
Oh. Yep. I remember those days. I sure do. So what was your first? Well, no, it's kind of getting at it. Would you say that your first online gaming experience was in the 90s, or was that probably more of a 2000s thing for you? Mine was definitely a 2000s thing, so I don't qualify for this question.
I didn't do it until Halo.
Okay, so you were a 2000s person as well.
I think Halo.
So-
Like, I remember people talking about. I remember one guy talking about it. It blew my mind when he was. I think there was a Resident Evil Outbreak or something. I don't.
Okay.
I never played it. I feel like I was on like PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
And they were just talking about online console gaming.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yep.
And then it wasn't until we got the Xbox the OG Xbox
Yep.
and Halo and stuff, and then
I feel like that's about the same for me. Mine was like Call of Duty.
3.
Call of Duty
Call of
3 was
Duty
going to be what I said. Yep.
Waters
Yep.
is in here. Waters will know exactly. We spent a lot of fucking time playing Call of Duty 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like Miss Huey just said too. I keep calling her Miss Huey, Mrs. Huey. You guys don't, y'all know what I mean. I just say it fast. How many people don't have a landline now? So like,
Yeah, we don't have one.
the period of time that we're talking about this episode, like, was everybody just had landlines, and now
You didn't have a cell phone.
nobody has landlines. So
You had an answering machine.
Yep.
And you weren't expected to pick up your phone every freaking time, right? Like,
yeah,
Now you get a text. It's like, oh, you didn't write me back, or you know what I mean? Stuff like
yeah,
that.
you
It's like,
literally
oh,
can't fucking get away from people anymore,
no,
and
you
it's
were expected to
terrible.
Pick up your phone. Yeah.
I miss the days of like, I'm just not gonna be around. I'll see you tonight.
Yeah.
Bye, and you're gone, and nobody can reach you, nobody could bother you, and I say that, like, I think of like, I mean, obviously there's the whole social aspect, but also think of like the work aspect of it too. Now, you know what I mean? Like, you're working 10 times more than anybody 20 years ago because you are accessible 24/7. And it's just like you said, if you don't answer your fucking phone, somebody's going to be like, I tried to get a hold of you, or you're not very good at responding, blah, blah, blah. It's like,
Whoa.
yeah, first of all, yeah, fuck off. You know what I mean? But like,
Exactly.
but no, like,
Exactly.
it's just crazy. I mean, and that's exaggerating, but I'm just saying, like, it's crazy that like 20 years ago, you didn't have to, like, you got off of work, you were off of work. You know what I mean? Like, you might have some stuff to do at home, but it wasn't like answering phone calls or doing this or doing that. And it's just, ugh.
Even just like, I don't know if this might. People would, like, if you never got a hold of the person, or I don't know. I feel like showing up at a person's house isn't a thing that you really.
No.
You know what I mean? You
No.
have like your neighbors just come over and bang on their. Now somebody bangs on your door, you're like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
You know
Why
what
the
I mean? Like,
fuck is there another human being in my presence? What is going on here?
Before you didn't have the choice. Like people, you just someone bang on the door, you go answer the door, and it could be anybody, right? It could
Yeah.
be, if you didn't get a phone call ahead of time, it wasn't a big deal. Now it's like it's weird ass inconvenience if you don't have a heads up. Like
Yeah.
you're
I
in the
agree.
wrong for banging. Like who is this?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I could recall, like, just last summer, like, my buddies were out cruising around and they like ended up into my house, you know what I mean? And like, he pranked me or whatever, and like called me, and he was like outside of my house, was like, ooh, being stupid. But it's like, I'll even say though, like, it was almost kind of nice. Like, my friends were just at my door, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? Like, and then they came in and they, hung out for a few minutes, and they continued on their way, but they were just stopping by. But like, that was a normal thing back in the 90s. People would just stop by. Hey, what's going on, man? Like, it was, socializing was different. Just socializing in general was different. There's advantages and disadvantages to that, obviously. But are we moved on from the games topic, or were we actually on the games topic, or are we just kind of we're just kind of talking about technology? I think it was
We did
good.
technology, and then I went off.
It's okay. Well, but you bring up a good point, because like the pros and cons of technology, you know what I mean? We've already mentioned some pros of it. You and I are sitting here doing a podcast and talking to people from literally anywhere that wants to pop in, like there's pros. We do have more accessibility, but there's cons as well. That there's more accessibility. It's literally the same thing, but I am a firm believer that like the more information we have, like the less people actually socialize. Like there's less true or real socializing going on in the world. So like I think I heard the comparison that like the more technologically advanced we become as a society, the less human we become. Yeah. And I completely agree with that. I agree 100% with that statement. So
yeah. I'll sit in a break room with the guys I work with, and everybody's on their phones.
Yeah,
and I do it too. I'm totally guilty of it. But
I'm guilty too.
I catch myself, and I look around and I'm like, holy fuck, we're a group of fucking people, and we're not like nobody's talking, and we're all just
buried into your phone. Yeah,
it's weird. Yeah.
Miss Huey says she'd considered going back to a flip phone. Well, like
that,
it's not unreasonable to think,
No. No.
We chase our next dopamine rush, and that's what it is. It's the dopamine. It's the having the whole world at your fingertips thing is the biggest
Yep.
problem, because whenever we get to the point that we depend so much. Think about how many of your conversations that you have throughout the day, we'll say with your friends, occur over text messages as in comparison to like an actual conversation or anything.
Yeah,
And like
you used to have to call people.
yeah, you used to have to call people. And how is this hurt us is like, for one, things come across so much differently via text. Text is emotionless. If I send you a text, you are assuming the emotion that I'm portraying from the text, depending on what I'm saying. You don't, whereas like an actual connection, a conversation has a lot more, has a lot more to say when you hear the words coming out of a person's mouth. It changes the meaning of the words that you're seeing. Same thing with emails or text messages or any of those text-based formats. We all are essentially just assuming each other's emotions, and you could take it whatever way you feel like, and like that's the way that's true to you. And now where there may not even be a conflict in the first place, like you have to have like conflict resolution where it might not have even been necessary. It's a terrible thing. It really is.
It is. Agreed.
So no, I kind of go on a rant whenever it comes to this kind of stuff.
I hear you.
The technology, I'm like full on boomer when it comes to technology. Even though I game and do this kind of stuff, like I do feel like it is more harmful to our society than it is helpful. I truly do. So,
Yep.
and it's reached a certain point that like our kids learn off of tablets and laptops and everything in the classroom. And like now if you take your children, you're like, no, I'm going to teach you real people's skills. You're going to learn. You're hurting them, because everybody else is advancing along with the technology that's there. So if you remove them from that and teach them how to be a real person and exist and touch fucking grass or go on hikes and enjoy the earth, like you are doing them harm, because all of the careers, you have to balance. You do.
It's definitely tough. Like Mrs. Huey's teacher and kid, like it's it's a big thing. It's definitely
difficult.
gotta come with some balance though.
It does. It does. And it's so easy. Like this is a guilty thing as a parent. I'll be the first to admit it's really easy to be like the kids are just playing tablets. They're or like they want to. And it's like, all right, cool. It's fine. I'm gonna go do my thing. You're doing your thing. You're enjoying yourself. It's fine. So like it's really difficult to balance, and sometimes like you're just tired and they just want to go do that thing. So again, it's like it's an easy out. It's a very easy out is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's like I said, it's
time will tell.
Time will tell. We'll see where
crazy,
things
like
go.
you said, the whole it quadruples every couple years. Like we're still pretty young, obviously. Like we're mid-30s, and it's crazy to think like I don't know. I'm shooting for 80s, so to go another 50 years,
Mid-40s at best for me. All right, so 7 more years. We'll see where it's at, and that's it.
You fucking better make it longer than that.
Interesting fact: statistically, the males in my family are all dead before the age of 50. Crazy.
Oh my god. Okay, well we gotta
We won't
on our meetups then. Jesus.
Our meetups, yeah. Let's just. I appreciate the fact that you're like, let's fit. Not you're not like, let's figure out how to make you live longer. You're like, oh, well, we just need to get together sooner. Then fuck it.
Try and change your lifestyle. I just want to meet you.
I love it. Oh,
I can't fight genetics.
no, right? That is 100% true. You can't fight genetics. But maybe technology can. Hey.
There you go.
So, where were we? I don't know. What were we talking about? Technology.
We're wrapping up technology.
Okay, I think so. Gaming wise, I've my first gaming system was the Atari. I've owned like almost all the consoles, the original PlayStations, PlayStation 2. I didn't have a PlayStation 3, believe it or not. I made the switch over to Xbox for a while. but I had the GameCube.
Go too into this if this is our next show.
Oh crap! That is our next show, isn't it? It was on here. So
No, I know it was. I know it was.
I saw it. He came and showed me.
I'm trying to think of what
I'm
consoles
sorry.
came out.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Don't do apologize.
PlayStation was definitely a
You
97.
weren't wrong.
I
I
forgot.
remember N64. I remember wanting
64
that
was a big one.
bad for Christmas. That
Yeah.
was a big one. One of the Christmases when it was an N64.
Yeah.
That was a big one.
Okay. OG PlayStation was 90s. Ah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Twisted
Tomb
Metal.
Raider plus Twisted Metal. Oh, I could lose some afternoons in those games. I love those games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so we already did food, right?
We did food.
Are we ready?
I think more to add to food.
I just say I think we pretty much nailed food down. We got excited about that topic.
Yeah. Push pops.
Yep.
Push pops took the storm there.
So I apologize. Are we done with technology then? We need to move on.
I'm sure.
Okay, I think we're good.
I think we're good.
Fashion. Fashion probably won't be a long topic,
Fashion.
but it'll be an interesting topic.
Okay. What was your fashion in the 90s, Mike?
So let's talk about a young Mike, okay? Young Mike back
A young Mike.
when mom was still in control. Keep in mind, I grew up in a trailer, lived out in the middle of nowhere, like little small town. We're talking like mullet with the rat tail. All right. Ooh, I rocked that. You had it too?
I had my mom kept it. She cut it and put tape on it.
My mom did too.
Pearl.
For God knows how long she kept that little rat tail, and all I could think of whenever I saw like that, whenever the Star Wars prequel trilogy came out, and they had like the little braided one, and then they cut it off when they became like a full-fledged Jedi. I'm like,
That's you.
what was my mom up to? Why? How did she know this? You know. But anyway, so Mrs. Huey blue eyeshadow.
Nice.
So we both so the rat tails were a thing. But then like I would say like pretty typical fashion through the but like late 90s when I started to get to choose a little bit of my own clothes. We talked earlier about the baggy pants. And not like just like baggy pants, but like foot wide Jinkos. I wasn't a Jinko wearer though. I wore like the black super goth ones with like the straps and shit on them because I was a punk kid. All right, I rocked a blue mohawk. I mean, we're talking like
We're on fashion now.
we're talking about fashion, JC. Yeah. So yeah, blue mohawk, super baggy black goth pants with like the straps. The cutoffs.
I would love to
Oh man, it was so amazing. I was a badass back then. Okay, not the old shitty, middle-aged man I am now. I was a badass pump kid back in the day. I was a scene kid. All right. But anyways, that was my fashion.
I'm gonna.
I had braided dreads at one time. You remember in Korn? You remember Head from Korn? He had the braided dreadlock. I had those. That were about like from top of the head down like chin long.
Nice.
Yep. Sorry, go ahead. Your turn. Give me.
I don't mean to jump in. I'm kind of disappointed now because I'm thinking of crazy ass pants that I had in high school, but high school wouldn't be the 90s for me.
Like maybe freshman year.
I was 2000, 2004.
Oh no.
So now
I was
everything that
freshman
had
year.
in my head is gone.
Oh no.
Now I'm crushed.
So junior high Huey.
Junior high Huey. This is 2000, like
Yeah.
2000. I had like, yeah, mine weren't the jeans like in that picture, but I had like the pants were so wide, like just massive width, so wide. There was a pocket. They made a pocket in the front. It was so big that I could fit a whole binder in there. I slid a whole binder in the front of my pants.
That's awesome.
And then I had like the fleecy. Do you remember like Exco and like I had like the fleece pants, like all the colors.
Oh, I don't
I had
remember
like
those.
bright yellow and orange.
Oh,
Crazy, yeah, crazy fleece pants. But that was high school. Now I'm trying to think of what I wore in grade school.
grade school was kind of
Grade
like
school.
an average for me.
Grade school was like early skateboarding. Like I pretty well wore kind of what I'm wearing. West 49. I'm still wearing the same shit. Like West 49 was like skateboarding, and
JC was a leggings, long shirts, and then went to short shorts and tight belly shirts for cowboy boots and long puffy hair. I want pictures, JC. We need 1990s pictures for JC Jean. Oh, you had a chain necklace? Hold on, I see you had a chain necklace.
I did have a chain necklace.
Yes. Did you ever wear chain wallets like the chains?
I did.
I did. I still do. I did Friday.
No, I don't think so.
I always did. I never went anywhere without a chain wallet on.
I wore jeans all the time.
Oh yeah, jeans.
I wore
Yeah.
jeans all the time when Mrs. Hugh and I got together.
If I had shorts, they might as well have been jeans because they were like down to my fucking ankles.
Well, I would wear shorts in the summer, but like I never wore anything other than
Okay.
jeans or like pants. I
Gotcha.
definitely had the chain necklace, but I think I was mostly just like t-shirt and whatever. It would have been backwards hat. Grade 7 and 8, I started skateboarding, and it was the whole skater scene.
God, JC just sent a picture, but I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can show it on stream. I don't want to do that to you, JC. I just saw it pop up in the corner. She's like, the one on the left is me. I'm like, oh shit, but
Jeans is for 8 hours of work, and that's it. Nice, yeah. Sweatpants as much as possible.
I'm a sweatpants person now. Like
I am now.
even like
Used to the sweatpant craze.
even like the evolution of the show. Like we're like 3 episodes in, and the first episode like had my jeans and was like all like, and now like, dude, I'm in my sweatpants right now. Okay, like I'm just fucking chill. Can I interrupt since we're in the middle of fashion? Can we get a sock of the stream?
Oh, we can.
Okay,
So
all
I
right.
went matching Ninja Turtles. I am the Ninja Turtles
Nice.
with the words. I thought the words fit. So we got dude, cowabunga, righteous, gnarly, pizza, dude. Yeah, we're
Love it. Love it.
matching-
And I think everybody here knows, but just in case there is anybody hanging out that didn't know, obviously Huey streams on Twitch, and one of his channel point redemptions is the sock of the stream. He, you tell us about sock of the stream if you want. Yeah, I'm not gonna steal your thunder here.
Sock of the stream's just my little jam. I wear a different pair of funky socks every stream, and I have a whole different scene set up for it, and I even have a sock cam.
The sock
a
cam.
sock cam.
There's a sock
I do
cam.
it up right. I have quite the collection of funky socks. So yeah,
So, yeah.
come on by
Yeah,
anytime you see me live.
there we go. Sorry, I had to get that plug in there for you.
Thank you for the plug. I appreciate it. Funky bracelets. I got one on now. This is just like a black leather kind of thing I just got. But I used to love like all the colored ones or whatever. My uncle used to travel and he'd bring some back. I used to wear them on my ankle.
Nice.
I'd have a little ankle bracelet of like the cool colors and stuff.
Bell bottoms. Bell bottoms.
There you go.
Ooh, I see. I always think of bell bottoms more like a '70s thing. I don't really remember them being a '90s
They
thing.
came
But
back there for.
did they come back? Okay.
Yeah, I was just baggy as hell pants, backwards hat, and a t-shirt that was way too big.
Okay. See, I was
I used to wear like a large or an extra large, and now I wear medium. Like as it fits.
okay. Well, I've gained a lot of weight. I was very fit back in those late '90s days. I was extremely fit. I was a football player. And I played fullback and middle linebacker on my team, so like lifted a lot of weights. Like I was,
Showing off your Limp Bizkit tattoo.
dude, flexed it hard. Okay, the Limp Bizkit tattoo wouldn't have been until like 2000, 2001. So no, I wasn't flexing it yet. All right,
Okay, sorry.
it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, so like I was very fit because I did play football, even though I was like super goth and everything. Punk. I wasn't goth. I was really punk, which is a very fine line there. And then But yeah, I was much more fit. So like the baggy jeans were like exaggerated baggy on me, I feel, because I was relatively fit. Like I wonder they probably wouldn't be that baggy with my fat ass now. So like I'd probably be like, damn, these things are comfortable. These are great.
Airflow.
Right?
Amazing.
JC said she looked fine till she got pregnant. So nice. Okay. Any more on fashion, or is that
That's all I kind of.
that's all kind of all I got too. Bucket hats.
cloth and
I was a
stuff.
bucket hat wearer. I was a bucket hat wearer when I wore hats.
you?
I was. I did have the bucket hats. Lip
I
gloss,
remember just being
sparkle
like,
eyeshadow.
a lot of colors and stuff. And
Yeah.
not for me, but like that seemed to be like when you look up 90s fashion.
It's like
now,
neons and all kinds of like
neon.
I made the background for our show tonight with like all the neon colors in it. And like whenever I first started looking into it, I was like, this is really like 80s looking, but I guess not. It was pretty 90s. Like I started looking through 90s fashion, windbreakers. You had to have the windbreakers, dude. Oh man. Mini backpacks. Ugh. There's a lot of weird stuff back then.
There was.
There was. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that, I guess. Give the old Forrest Gump. That's all I got to say about Forrest Gump, another 90s movie, by the way. We didn't bring Forrest Gump up. Oh, my God. Waters came in hot. Okay.
The
All right.
zipper, the friggin'
Oh, my
zipper
God.
pants. You just
Yep.
tear them off into shorts. You zip them off into shorts.
Or no,
Well
but the
done.
tearaways
Well
with the
done.
buttons, though, you could literally just tear them off.
off.
Oh, they were
Yes.
great.
Well done, Walter.
Oh, yes. I appreciate that.
That and the
Fanny packs
the
are
light-up
back.
shoes. Remember the light up shoes started around then?
Yeah, the light up. Yeah, the soles that had the
Walk
lights in
and
them.
they
Yep.
would light
Yep.
up. Yeah, I like those.
Ugh.
Crazy shoelaces, crazy bright colored shoelaces that were all like spiraled.
See, I wore nothing but Vans with plain
Even with
ass
the tie-dye.
shoelaces, and
Even with
as
the tie-dye.
loose as possible, so you could just slip them off.
Yeah.
Laces didn't matter. That was me. I was the Vans guy. Vans and baggy pants, dude.
Nice.
Ugh.
Nice.
God. I'm glad there's no
Full
pictures that
tearaways.
exist. Full tearaways. All right. We do have on here sports. Do we want to get much into sport? I don't have a lot on sports.
You put it up there, yeah.
I think I put it up there, but like I think one of
Like
the
you said, you kind of brought up like the big
difference.
stuff, like the difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Talked about Michael Jordan.
Yeah, so like that was whenever I was thinking of sports, like you think like in the 90s, the Jordan, Pippen, Rodman era of like Chicago Bulls, like how big that was. Even like you like your Shaquille O'Neals and all your like everybody's like super into sports back in these days, and like this actual sports stars that were, at least at the time, relatively good role models for our kids. Rodman,
Not a good
maybe not a good role model, but the rest of them seem like legitimate role models with good messages and stuff, And so that was kind of my point when we were talking the other night, making the topics for the show, is just like the change in culture of sports and what it is today. And like I know there's still people who are super into sports, and that's fine. I just don't feel like it's just not the same. We just got a bunch of millionaire crybabies that are it's all about the money and less about the sport these days.
Right. Yep.
So
I remember because we grew up right across from Detroit, so I'm not huge into hockey. I know I'm like the only Canadian that's not into hockey, but we the whole family liked the Red Wings. And
Okay.
I remember that whole kind of thing. There was a big rivalry between the Red Wings and the Colorado Avalanche, and that was a huge
Okay.
deal. I don't know why I remember some of that.
Right.
Probably a lot more, but just you got into it, right? They
Yeah.
fought all the time. Like, the fight,
Yeah.
the fights were crazy. The games were intense because you knew that they just hated each other. And like, I don't know. I don't really watch sports now, so
Me
I don't
neither.
know if that
Me neither.
still happens. But yeah, I just I remember that stuff, and
I mean, I think this stuff still happens. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
think you're wrong, but it's you nailed it on the head right there. It was the feeling of it, the feeling of
Yeah.
sports, like the emotion of it. And now it's just like meh,
yeah,
whatever.
I don't know
So,
if we're biased or whatever you want to say. We're not as into it.
just old and
Like,
cynical.
I still hear people talk about it at work, right?
Yeah, me
They're
too.
all into it's the Stanley Cup and
Yeah.
and whatever. But
Yep.
I remember like it was like like the Colorado Detroit rivalry was nuts. Like they were like the one guy got freaking paralyzed or no.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Oh,
My bad. But like the goalies fought, like I remember Osgood and Waugh fighting, like that was fucking crazy. Like it was just
Yeah.
like the intensity was nuts.
but I feel like this kind of is a part is good to bring up in this conversation because again we're talking about back in the 90s. Now like every move that a team makes every single minute of every single day, like diehard fans like know about it, you know. So and like everybody has such ease of access to all the sports. I mean, so again, back in the 90s, I feel like there's a lot more of like the families getting together and watching these big games and doing that kind of stuff. So like I think that sports have become more watered down the more accessible sports have become to people because it's not a big event anymore. People aren't getting together and watching the games on Sunday or, you know, Thursday night games or whatever, whenever these fucking games play or, you know what I mean? But like people used to get together and watch this stuff. And like, I guarantee you right now, me and you may not be the biggest hockey fans, but if you and I sat down in a room and put hockey on, we'd probably be screaming and yelling by the end of the game because there's that like social aspect of it, and we've lost it as a society. We've lost it, you know.
Yeah. For sure.
Back in the 90s, I only listened to baseball. Only time I saw it was in person. Exactly, but like you know, that was like also your form of information back then. Everything wasn't pull up your phone and see what's going on. Okay, oh they're down by a run now. Okay, you know I'll catch back up on it in 20 minutes. See how they're doing. You know. Mrs. Huey commented here.
That's true too. Like, we don't watch it. We don't have any
Yeah.
satellite or anything. We don't watch sports. Like we don't.
Yeah,
I've never been into it enough to pay for a sports package to watch it. You know what I mean? I've always.
Yeah.
I enjoyed watching it back in the
Right.
day, but I'm not into it enough to do that. So yeah, we're not as into it.
and I can't fully blame sports on it, you know, because I don't know. I mean, part of it is just me, my change of interests, but you know, I'm trying to be objective in kind of what I feel like has shifted the feeling of sports, you know.
Right.
So, anyways, yeah, that was kind of my sports spiel for the 90s versus now kind of feel of it. So
Yep.
yeah. Did you have any more that you would like to add to sports, Huey?
I don't know if it counts as a sport, and I feel like this might go down a rabbit hole with gamer, but I remember watching WWF.
Oh, wrestling.
Sport, and we don't have to go down the rabbit hole deep, but I remember like watching that with my mom, like Monday Night Raw and all that kind of stuff.
Thursday
That was big.
SmackDown.
Thursday SmackDown. That was a big. I know Gamer just freaking did a backflip, but like, that was a big thing back then. I don't know if that really counts, but like you were just in
It 100%
even that
counts.
was, like, even that was like the whole Stone Cold Vince McMahon thing. Was that 90s?
The Attitude Era. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
I think that was the
like-
late 90s. I think it was. Yeah.
DX and
Yeah.
90s. Yeah, like WWF was awesome. The whole-
WCW versus WWF, you know.
Yeah, like man, crazy.
I used to watch a lot of WWF as well. I
Yeah.
was huge Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker, like you said,
Yeah.
DX with Triple H and X-Pac and China and what was his
Yeah.
name? Michaels.
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels, dude, like,
Yeah.
oh, those were the good days of wrestling. It's actually funny that we bring this up because Man Bear Pig is here with me tonight, actually hanging out, and one of the last times he came over was like wrestle. It wasn't I don't know. I don't know if it was WrestleMania. It might have been WrestleMania or Royal Rumble. I think it was. And I'm like, dude, you guys want to come over and watch the Royal Rumble? Because like at the time, Miss Dirty and I's son was kind of starting to get just wrestling toys all of a sudden. I'm like, I'll watch wrestling with you, hell yeah, you know. And so I invited Man Bear and his son over, and we like had the Royal Rumble on, and just sat there and watched some wrestling. But it is definitely I'm sorry, wrestling is a sport. It's a very physical activity, so I qualified as a sport anyways. Because then at that point you have to start questioning, like, well, is cheerleading a sport? Is this a sport? And no, they all take more physical activity and skill than I have. They're sports. So, but yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. But yeah, wrestling was a good time. Yes.
A lot of memories. Just my mom got into it with us, right? So it would be me and my mom.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, she was right into it and loved all the
Nice.
loved all the stuff.
Mine was my dad and my friends. We all watched it and we were into it. So yeah, definitely good times there. So, and I feel like we could actually kind of roll one of our final topics into this because we have like sportsmanship and like gracious defeat.
Right.
You know, and I think that kind of plays into sportsmanship of everybody and just how they are. And
I kind of just feel like I actually just talked to somebody at work about this too, like, and it happens all the time, like playing. The kids don't know how to lose. Exactly.
they don't know how to lose. Yeah.
I was just playing Gunfight on Wednesday night, Call of Duty Gunfight, 2v2, quick rounds and whatever, and you're playing the game, and at the end of it, if you like, I never do it, but like you beat somebody and you get called the worst fucking names in the world, right? You can chat with the opposite team for like 2 seconds if you have that turned on, and sometimes it's like, hey, good game, yeah, good game, whatever. But then sometimes you get called the most awful, horrible shit. And actually, sorry, so that's one part of it, but like the one thing on Wednesday was just like, you suck. That's what I got told. And I said it right back to the guy. I was like, there's that gracious in defeat that you'll love to see. And then boom, like the match stopped and it cut off. But like, I'm just sitting there thinking like, man, I remember playing baseball as a kid, and it didn't matter how much you lost or won or whatever. The rule was that you lined up on the field and you shook their hands. Some people were dicks and they'd spit on their hands, but
Yeah, right. You have those kids, but
you know what I mean? Like you that was like
you lost, they won. Congratulate them.
Congratulate, good game, good game. Good
And
game.
if you won,
yeah,
you go encourage the other team. Tell them they had a good game. You know, yeah.
Online gaming does not have that.
No, it doesn't.
And I don't know. I've always thought that like I playing video games, like I'm not perfect. I'm not the best. I'm gonna do obviously stuff that's not right. And
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. It's probably a different tangent, but I'm just like
Right.
blown away by how people act like that. And
Well, and I
that
think
was just
that
something I remember being a kid that you just always did that.
well, and I think that gets us into the age of, you know, all the keyboard warriors, you know what I mean? They'll talk a lot of shit over the internet, but you know what I mean? They can't handle real life social interactions. Right. I think that gets back to the point that I was trying to drive home earlier. It was just like, you know, when everything happens over text or over keyboard and mouse, then you not only is it, you know, difficult to perceive the emotion, but people are losing the ability to show that emotion. Like it's exaggerated. You know, look at the internet. Everything that you see on the internet is the extreme one side or the extreme other side, you know? And so like that's what kids see, and that's what they're being groomed to, is extreme versions of emotion. So everything is dialed up 100% one way or the other. There's no middle ground. There's no graciousness. There's no humbleness to win or defeat. There's absolutely no humble, and then you lose the ability to know how to react. It's just yeah. That's what I would list as one of my cons of technology.
Yep.
And I mean, we could also throw it in there, bad parenting, but that could possibly be a whole nother, that could be a whole nother topic. You know what I mean? Because like, it's a parent's job to teach a kid how to react to those situations too. But it's, I'm sorry, go ahead. You were going to say something.
Well, I just feel like that is a whole thing, right? Like it felt like just after it almost would it be in the 90s. Like it almost seemed like in the 90s people were having kids a lot younger.
You think so?
I think so. I think they were having them younger, and that or people that weren't ready to be parents were becoming parents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that the whole bad parenting kind of thing came from people having them younger and not saying all younger
Right.
people aren't good parents, but just like there wasn't a whole thing of respect was
Yeah.
getting lost over time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like especially I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It changed a lot, right? Like disciplining. And
I
all
do.
that
I
stuff
do think you're
changed.
probably right. That was probably the start of that change, where people started
Yeah.
having kids a lot younger. That's probably you probably
Yeah.
bring up a good point. That is when it happened.
I think that was all around like the 90s. Not saying like us, like our age bracket of the 90s start. Like, well, obviously we were young, pretty young.
Yeah.
But like anybody that kind of had them, younger, and just the mentality kind of changed on
Right.
discipline and this and that. Like a level of respect was
Yeah.
lost, and then
Yeah.
kind of went from there.
Well, and I think that's it. I think a lot of respect changed. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like people don't respect each other or themselves these days
Right.
as much as they did. I mean that's going back generational. I know what I mean. You know what I mean? Like every generation falls deeper into that trap. I feel. But yeah, I agree that I feel like the generation of the 90s is where that really started to exaggerate. So I would definitely agree to that.
Like I was like I don't know. I shouldn't say that. I wasn't terrified of my parents. Terrified of my parents, but just like you were, just like
I was.
you were afraid of getting in trouble. Yeah,
You
like,
should be.
not that I was getting hit or anything ever, but I was just like you didn't want to get grounded or in trouble or anything like that. And now there's like not a lot of that. You know what I mean? So
All right. Well, listen. If I misbehave too far along, the line, I'd get my ass whooped. I'm not afraid to admit it. Like I knew if I screwed up, and you know what? I made mistakes one time. All right, because I knew if I did that again, I don't want that ass whooping that's coming my way. You know what I mean? Like, but I knew it was coming if I repeated those mistakes. I mean, now I know. Not saying hitting like we don't.
no, I
spank,
know that's not like this is a touchy topic.
No, I know. But like we don't spank our children. We don't do any of that. We found better ways to parenting. But I'll tell you what, it's a lot goddamn harder. I'll tell you. Like there's sometimes where you think like, God damn, man. Like I remember if I would have did that, I only would have done it once.
Yeah, like if you were over at somebody else's house, going in their bedroom was a no-go. Like you just didn't. It was just the thing you just didn't do. And I feel like none of that stuff's respected anymore. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, not that
Nope.
I'm at places where kids go play in there.
I know what you
It
mean.
just
Yeah,
feels
yeah,
like there's the boundary. There's just certain things you knew you don't do.
yeah. Yeah.
And now I feel like some of that stuff is just like out the window.
Yeah. I know. Anyways, so but that does kind of take us to the we've kind of started easing our way into the topic of being a kid back in the day, and we've hit a lot on this throughout the night. But like,
Right.
if
Or easy gamer.
so, let me ask you this: do you feel like it's different being a kid these days? Or do you feel like this is what our parents felt like and we just didn't understand it back then? You know what I mean? Because like I feel it's different. I feel it's a lot worse. Between Ellie and myself, we have 4 daughters and 1 boy. So I can tell you as a father of daughters, I'm terrified of the world they're growing up in. It's absolutely terrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Terrible.
It is. And not only that, like it's just like because people's accessibility to each other through the use of technology is terrible. You know what I mean?
Well, you talked about it, like we had it on there, like you'd be gone, you'd leave in the morning, you'd be gone all damn day.
Yeah.
You had no idea, like, I'm not saying we were like running away and stuff like that, but like, I knew I could stay within the town at a certain point before I started driving, right? Like, we were just skateboarding all over town, doing whatever.
Yeah, I was a BMXer where you were a skater, so
BMX.
I was big time into BMX.
Well, like, you were gone like all day, like, and
Yeah.
there was no. I'm sure my parents were. I'm sure my mom was terrified, but like, it wasn't as bad, I don't think, as it is now.
I don't think it was. I don't think it was as bad.
No.
But
Just-
again, there is that part of my mind, somewhat objective, is like, you know, were my parents scared? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how scared they were.
Mine,
you know what I
my
mean?
mom was for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But
All right. But yeah.
just like you said, running around, drinking out of a garden hose and not caring, and
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like now it's
We were free. We were
Yeah.
free back then. It's a lot different these
free
days.
and not whatever.
So yeah,
Different time.
different times. But yeah, why do I feel like we're ending on a sad note right now? Like, just different times. But no,
Got
it's
dark.
it did.
Drinking alcohol in the woods.
Right, right.
Didn't do a lot of that.
I did not.
12.
I did not do much of that. But to each their own.
Oh man.
Well, do you have any before? Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say that was a dark note. I gotta say, like going over all this stuff, it was hilarious seeing the old restaurants, seeing the old commercials, the old toys. Like man, it was so funny going back and looking at that stuff. There's probably so much that we didn't get to touch on, but like
I feel like it's really hard to have like a nostalgia episode without ending on a dark note, to be honest with you. Because like you think about it, like you sit there and you talk about all these great things you remember, and then it's time to wrap it up. You're like, yeah, those were good times. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know if I'd call it a dark note so much as just like a reminiscent. You know what I mean? Like we're talking about good times of our childhood where we were free, we didn't have to worry about bills, we didn't, easier times like Gamer just said. So, and now we're gonna end up having to get off here and go back to being adults. So, like it's just how it is.
Yep.
What can you do, you know?
yep.
But no, it's the 90s were definitely a good time. There's honestly so much more we could touch on. Like socially, like if you think about like the worldwide topics, you think like this is the time of like the AIDS epidemic and like how our views of that have changed over time. We could talk, you talk about like your Wacos, your Unabombers, there's so many things that happened in the 90s that we didn't even talk about tonight that is almost deserving of like its own part 2 show, of like the world of the 90s, not just us, but the world of the 90s,
Yeah, this is just reminiscing on
This
all
was
the
just
stuff
us,
that we
about fun
remember.
stuff, fun shit, This was the fun shit episode. We can have the dark episode later if we want to, but this was the fun shit episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I got, Huey. What do you got?
I'm about the same. I knew this was gonna be a fun one.
It was a good one. This was a good episode. It was
It's so neat to go back and to think. Yeah. It doesn't seem like that long ago. Like that's one of the biggest things that like that or now I like to see some of those movies, right? And to think like, oh, that wasn't that long ago. And like I feel like the 90s wasn't that long ago. And then
It doesn't feel like it was.
I was only 4 to 14. Like that was half my life ago. More than that. Like,
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
when you hear stuff in the 90s, I think, wow, that wasn't that long ago. But now you're like, no, that was like
Yeah,
30
it
years.
doesn't feel like that long ago, but it was.
Yeah.
It was a
30
long
years
time
ago,
ago.
You're like, what?
Yep.
Like it's just wild. So it's really neat. it's really neat to go back and see some of the stuff for sure.
It is.
Yeah.
So do we do a 2000s episode here soon, right? Because honestly, a 2000s episode is a whole nother episode of like the evolution of things that could be done. Not the next episode, but a 2000 because 2000s would be, if you think about it, for the two of us, 2000s would be a good episode because that catches our high school years and our transition into adulthood.
Oh boy.
I know that could be another big one. So make a note, 2000s episode somewhere in the mix. Here we go. Would you like to do the honors of announcing our next episode?
I can do that. So, the next episode, 2000s were my glory days.
Wicked, we will allow you to participate on the council during that episode.
Yeah, you're in. So, the next episode of Between Two Streamers will be taking place on June 17th. Another Saturday, June 17th, and we are going to do, as I kind of alluded to earlier, the evolution of gaming. So we didn't get too deep into that tonight. We know that the
You stopped me from getting too deep into that. You're like, hold the fuck on.
90s had a few things, but we are gonna start. We're gonna start at the beginning and go till now, and we're gonna go over all the consoles, controllers,
And
games.
correct me if I'm wrong, but we're not just going to talk about what our experience is. We're just going to talk about in general the evolution of gaming. Is that correct? Yeah. Cool.
Each kind of console.
Yeah.
Each kind of,
Guess we could have clarified that off stream, but I just put you right on the spot and like, hey, just to clarify exactly what this topic is.
It
So,
never matters with us, Mike. It's good.
I know you would think at a certain point I would learn that like this is just gonna.
I haven't learned.
I know.
I haven't learned. I've got the thing here. I'm like, yeah, but we haven't talked about that yet. We jumped 8 things down earlier. We jumped right to food.
Straight in. It was dinner time. Everybody's hungry. Okay.
Yeah.
But hey, exciting announcement. Between Two Streamers, record 3.5 hours.
3.5 hours. Yeah.
It gets longer and longer each time.
I can't believe the 90s beat the Christopher Nolan episode. That's pretty.
That
dope.
is big. That is big.
That's pretty dope. Everybody in the chat, thank you so much for
Yeah,
hanging out for 3.5 hours. You are a legend.
3.5 hours worth of listening to two underqualified dudes talk about shit.
Thank you for spending your Saturday night with us.
I know that's the other thing, right? It's like we're like asking
great
people to
fans.
sacrifice because Saturday night just sit here and bullshit with us. So
We have great fans.
we do. We love you guys. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Does anybody have a suggestion as to who's streaming that we could raid off to tonight? So I guess hold on. We hold on. One thing was Huey, we need to get better at. We need to have for editing purposes to go onto YouTube. Better introductions, better closing out. We're gonna on the spot practice a nice closing out here, okay?
Isn't this gonna be in the edit?
Absolutely. So we're doing this right now. We're making this up on the fly. So well, like Huey said, we appreciate all of you. We thank you very much. Thank you for being here, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Between Two Streamers. Hey, we nailed it. There we go.